green light Queensland rivalry coming on up. Hey guys, how you going? So down BKR Sport. We've had two games today. Manly came out trumps over the Dragons. Probably not enough for them to make the finals, but still, they got a win and kept their hopes just absolutely not alive, but not alive. But that game finished. Manly won, and we also did see the Raiders clinch the minor premiership with a victory over the Tigers. But now we've got the big Queensland derby game between the Cowboys and the Broncos from Townsville. We're going to have to rush through these two team lineups and then into the ladder, guys, because the Broncos have a chance at the top four. Cowboys playing for pride and to hurt Big Brother's chances of a double chancer in the finals. So hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, punch the old thumbs up button, and let's get into it. So the North Queensland Cowboys, they're in 13th position. The Broncos, they come into this game from 5th position. This is at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. On the ins of the Cowboys, Jackson Paulo. The out is Viliami Vailea. Fullback, Scott Drinkwater, with the wingers being Braden Burns and Sammy Valame. The centres of Jackson Purdue and Zach Labour comes in off the bench into the starting centres. Go to the 5'8", Jake Clifford, with the halfback being Tom Dearden, who is the captain. Front row forwards of Jordan McLean and Jason Taumalolo. Number 9, Reece Robson. Back row, John Bateman and Jeremiah Nene, with the 13 being Ruben Cotter. Interchange of Carl Lawton, Harrison Edwards, Thomas McKaylee and Kaya O'Donnell, with the 18th man replacement being Jackson Paulo and Todd Payton as the coach. Because of time restraints and the fact the game is about to start very momentarily, we're going to jump into the Broncos lineup, and they welcome back Brendan Piakura as an in. The out is Fletcher Baker. The fullback is Reese's Pieces, Reece Walsh, with the wingers Josiah Katapani and Dean Mariner. Centres of Katoni Staggs and Gehamat Shibasaki. 5'8", Billy Walters, halfback Ben Hunt. Obviously, Ezra Mem and Adam Reynolds are still injured. The front rowers are Corey Jensen and Payne Haas, with the number 9, Corey Pakes. The back row is Jaden Hunt and Jordan Ricky. 13, Patrick Carrigan, who is the captain. Interchange, Tyson Smoothie, Kobe Hetherington, Ben Talty, and Brendan Piakura, with the 18th man replacement being Jesse Arthurs, and the coach is Michael Maguire. Who do I tip in this game? You know what? I'm going to go into the ladder positions here first, then I'll go for a quick tip. Broncos, they're in 5th position on 32 points. They have got a plus 148 points differential. They're equal with the Sharks on 32 points, who are plus 67 points differential. Now, the Warriors, they lost to the Eels yesterday, which that means their season's in tatters for that top 4 positioning, but they want the Cowboys to win it today. If the Broncos do win, they go to 34 points. The points differential for the Warriors is only plus 22, so the Broncos would jump into the top 4 with a win in 4th position. That's the highest they can go, though, because the Bulldogs are still going to be 4 points away from them, and there's only one game after this to go. So if they win this game, they would go to 4th position for the time being, but the Sharks are still kind of hanging around there and can be equal with them again by the game Knights next on tomorrow when the Sharks play the Knights. If the Broncos win, they will go top 4 for the time being. But if they lose this game, the Panthers have already played. They had 31 points. They can't go above the Brisbane Broncos because they obviously already lost that game to the Bulldogs. But the Sharks, they haven't played yet. They're on 32 points. So if the Broncos do lose, the Broncos will drop to 6th position, the Warriors will drop to 5th position, and the Sharks will actually go into that 4th position with a win over the Knights tomorrow. So this is a big game here for the Broncos. They must win if they want to get into that top 4. If they lose, they probably will finish off the round in 6th position, right? But they're very grateful the Panthers rested all their players and didn't beat the Bulldogs, obviously. So Broncos with a win, 4th. With a loss, probably 6th. I don't think they stay in 5th for the weekend, regardless of what happens. On the other side of the table, the Cowboys, they are just playing for pride right now. They're in 14th position. They got 23 points because of that draw at the Panthers, sent them on the uneven sector. It doesn't matter about their points differential of minus 138, even though that's really, really poor. It's the 4th worst in the competition right now. Now, if they win this game, they would jump the Rabbitohs, they would jump the Eels, and they would jump the Tigers. And those 3 teams have already played or have had the bye, so the Cowboys would go into 11th position with a win. If they lose this game, however, the Dragons did lose, and the Knights can't get to them, so the Cowboys would finish in 14th position. But if they do win, they will go into 11th position. They're either 11th or 14th because the games tomorrow don't have anything to do with absolutely anything. But there you go, guys. That is the game. I'm actually taking a bit of an upset here. I think the Cowboys might be able to sneak it, but I do think the Broncos are deserved favourites. The game is kicked off, by the way, so thumbs up and subscribe. Second tackle here for the Cowboys at their own 20. I know a lot of people are going to back in the Broncos, and I feel like absolutely I get you, but I still feel like there might be a bit of a sneaky here for the Cowboys at Townsville to hurt Big Brother's season. They know how to... That's going to be a lost ball there. Yeah, it's going to be Broncos ball here at the 20. That's going to be Broncos ball here at the 20. I might sneak a Cowboys 1-12 on the basis that they do know how to score. The Broncos are without their halves of Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds. They're still without Selwyn Cobber. They're still without Xavier Willison. Yes, they've got Pierre Kura back into their lineup, but I'm still not 100% convinced. But next week will tell me a lot about the Broncos. But if they go and beat the Cowboys and beat them well, which they realistically should here today, then it will show that even without their players, the Broncos are still able to get firing. But it's just a Queensland rivalry game. I always say it's always even when it's a rivalry matchup. Rabbitohs, Roosters, Broncos, Cowboys, Storm, Manly kind of deal. Those games are always going to... And look, with the Panthers and Eels over the years, the Eels have always given a crack against the Panthers. So maybe, if anything's going to be an upset today, 1 second, Broncos here at the 5. Tony Staggs, he will be getting the offload away to the ground. Knock on for the Broncos. A knock on from the Broncos, and the Cowboys will get the ball at 10. Wow, that is... Oh, no, it's going to be a knock on from the Cowboys first, they're going to call. They're going to say knock on from the Cowboys first here. And, wow, this has been a red-hot start to this game. They're going to say Cowboys knocked this one on before the Broncos. I don't know where they could have knocked that ball on there first, but sure. Anyway, I thought Corey Pakes was injured there, but I hope he's not. Anyway, I'm going to take, if there was ever going to be an upset today, I was going to take this one. I think the Broncos should be favourites for a reason. They are fighting for the top 4, but I just feel like there might be a bit of a sneaky play here today. Might be a bit of a sneaky. But anyway, like I said, thumbs up, subscribe, and Corey Pakes is going to have to come off the field here for a HIA. Broncos with the ball 10 metres out. Braden says, hope the Broncos win. Cage says, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Sean James' last game of the day. Let's hope it's a good one. Well, it's looking like it's going to be a fiery one to start with already. I didn't mind the Raiders-Tigers. I thought that was a bit of a fun game. Nothing too red hot. We knew what was going to happen, and it did happen. Dragons-Manly was poor, but, you know, the expected win happened. And then hopefully we can see maybe a surprise here today, or at least the Cowboys make it close. And... We'll see. But the Broncos here off the scrum. Tony Staggs will be 5 metres out from the line here on first tackle. They're trying to go to a really quick play the ball here. They go to Corey Jensen, who's going to be 3 metres out from the line. Second tackle, 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. They go Tyson Smoothie out to Reece Walsh, out to Ben Hunt, gives it off to Jordan Ricky, who couldn't get the pass away, otherwise it would have been a try. They had a Broncos streaming through. Billy Walters for a quick play. 4th tackle at the 2. This is a really quick set right now. Wowee, the Broncos are playing fast footy. They go back short side, and bad defense there from the Cowboys. They miss a couple of tackles, and Gerhard Shibasaki will score. And that's what you're going to see. I think that was actually the wrong play originally from the Broncos, but I guess the Cowboys did get caught off guard, so I'm the incorrect one here. The Broncos will score through Gerhard Shibasaki on the left-hand side, and it will be a very quick start from Brisbane. Very, very quick start from Brisbane. You know, they have that play on the short side, and it's just a big turnaround play. The Cowboys probably should have had that covered. They should have had that covered there. But, yeah, they should have. Tom Dearden should have been making that tackle realistically. But at the end of the day, the Broncos do score through Gerhard Shibasaki, and it's 4-0 with the kit to come. Cowboys jersey looks all right. Looks very different. It's a very different Cowboys jersey here today. Very, very different. Olivia says, come on, Billy Walters. Mitchell says, great start to his last ever game. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is the Cowboys' last game of the season, by the way, guys, because they do have a bye in the final round. They do have a bye. So this is the last time you'll see the Cowboys play in 2025. Bretton says, no shirt change. No shirt change, mate. No shirt change. The only reason we changed shirts last week is because Jay was complaining. He was complaining in the chat, mate. Complaining. All right, so Reece Walsh will be going for the conversions tonight. Going for the conversions. Dasmay says all these, the glow-in-the-dark jerseys. Very much glow-in-the-dark jerseys. Very much. Braden says, bro, why does it say 4:35 p.m.? Because I am in Vietnam. I'm in Vietnam, mate, so that's my time zone. But 36 minutes left the first half, and the Broncos with a red-hot start. Sean James' last game has to get 100 likes. You know what to do. We have to get 100 likes on this one. I know we will. We'll get 100 likes on this stream. Gary says, g'day everyone, hello from London. Yeah, it's raining in London. How are we all doing, Blaze? How are your travels going? They're going all right, mate. We are flying at the moment. Still don't know where I'm going to go on Monday, but I have to leave the country so I can come back to Vietnam for my refreshed visa. But Reece Walsh will make the kick. He will make the kick and make it 6-0 to Brisbane. 6-0. Someone says, how did Walsh get through there? Well, yeah, pretty poor defense there from Tom Dearden that allowed Reece Walsh to get through, and also Semi Valame. Semi Valame had 2 players out there. Like, at the end of the day, the Cowboys were done for numbers. They only had 2 players, so maybe it was the right option, but it's just that that's a great offload there from Reece Walsh to not throw that ball forward as well. Great offload. Not like Dearden to miss an early tackle like that. Yeah, absolutely. He's usually very good for his defense. Usually very good for his defense, but unfortunately not that one. Richard Tice says, yes. Bronx will always be my best team. I tip 52. Well, with the Cowboys' defense, you couldn't put it out of the equation the Broncos win by that much. I think that, like, if the Cowboys, played like they did against the Tigers last week, I feel like they could still make this close with how much they can score, but they just need the ball and they need to, stop giving away plenty of errors. A couple of weeks ago against the Knights, they scored 38 points, but they had 23 errors in the game. The previous worst this year from any team and a half was 17. Which was the Cowboys, actually, the Knights and the Roosters, but then they put 6 more on top of that. So that's a bit of a concern. Cowboys do love a good error, but again, when they've got ball in hands, they do know how to score. The Broncos now, they'll bring this ball to the 40 on fifth tackle, 35 minutes to go here in the first half. They go right-hand side, and Ben Hunt whacks that ball down to the 10, where Cowboys will grab it. Braden Burns, and he'll be at the 15. Cows need the PA system. They do love a good PA up there in Townsville. They definitely do. Second tackle here at the 16. I guess, you look at the Cowboys team lineup, though, and realistically, even with the Broncos having players out, they should win this game. And that's why I said, ultimately, if there was an upset to come today, it was always going to be this one, because if the Cowboys come in with that high intensity to hurt Big Brother's season, then I give him a red-hot crack, but based off team list, you really should be saying the Broncos still win. Ben Hunt is still a big-time 7 throughout history. Billy Walters, I don't really back in too much at 6, but, the Broncos realistically still have a better team on paper than the Cowboys even in this game. Gary says, my youngest is running the Sydney Marathon tomorrow for the Australia Children's Cancer Institute. I'll be up until 3 a.m. following him in the app. Proud daddy, good stuff. Well, good luck to him. Tomorrow's a big day in Australia, man. There's a lot of things happening in Australia, so I hope that doesn't get impacted by that, because that's for a really good thing there in the Children's Cancer Institute. But there is a lot going on tomorrow with some big marches and stuff happening around the country. So third tackle now at the 30. And Tyson Smoothie, the Payne Haas now, he'll get away from a tackle and then taken down to the 40. Good run, though, from Big Payne Haas, and he'll be at the 40. Fourth tackle. Tyson Smoothie off to Reece Walsh. Big pass across to Tony Staggs. And now they'll be at the 45. So who scored the first try? Gehamad Shibasaki scored the first try, Stephen. Gehamad Shibasaki. And now Reece Walsh, he will whack that one down to the 5, and they will call a penalty. Well, Cowboys are getting off to a really rough start here, discipline-wise. Really rough start. That is a penalty for taking the kicker out. Braden Burns will get penalised, and it's not giving me a great deal of confidence in regards to how the Cowboys have come into this game. It's definitely taken out the kicker's legs. It's a correct call here. There's no debate about this call. There is absolutely no debate about that call. Braden Burns has done really decently for the Cowboys when he's been needed this season. He's gone to the bin too. Yeah, look, I think the Broncos, based on this first 7 minutes, should win this game by a country mile. The Cowboys clearly don't look like they've come into this game with the right intentions and the right mentality, and then you've got Braden Burns doing this. The Broncos should win this by 100. They really should. They really should. Forget the upset prediction. Forget the upset tip. They look absolutely shocking in this first 7 minutes. So Braden Burns will go to the bin. Braden Burns will go to the bin. Brenton says, Payne is so strong, always brushing players off. Absolutely. So Broncos now up a man, 10 metres out from the line. Cowboys love to give up plenty of points. The Broncos have been scoring plenty of points recently. Payne Haas now, he's going to be 4 metres out from the line. Second tackle. Jeez, Cowboys, you're going to need to show a lot more than what you've shown this first 7 minutes if you want any chance of making this game competitive. Ben Hunt fakes it. He'll give this ball out to the left-hand side. Bit of a floater, but they will take him down 8 metres out. 7 minutes in a bin. Yeah, exactly right, Sean. Exactly right. Gehamad Shibasaki across to Ben Hunt at the 15. He'll get it across to Patrick Carrigan. Carrigan now right inside. That's going to be knocked back here from the... it's a knock on Broncos. Knocked back from the Cowboys while Reece Walsh was trying to get a pass to Jordan Ricky, and then the ball goes backwards. Jordan Ricky tries to pick it up, and then he knocks it on. So it'll be Cowboys ball at the 10. They get lucky there. They get super lucky there, the old Cows. Super lucky there. Junita says, watching from Papua New Guinea, go the Broncos. Get around you in Papua New Guinea. 8 minutes into the first half. Who do I got winning this one? I thought there might have been an upset pre-game. I'm not liking an upset now. So, right this very second, the Broncos seem like they're all over them because the Cowboys don't have the right kind of mentality immediately. But long way to go. Still 72 minutes left in this game. And still a long way to go at the bin too. 7 minutes left of that bin. Semi Valame, he'll bring this ball out here to the 22. Sorry, 8.5 minutes left of that bin for Braden Burns. Second tackle at the 23. Then Jordan McLean, he'll get it out to the 30. At least a couple of tough runs here, getting them out of a bit of trouble. They should probably get to around the 40, 45 by the end of the set. And Jason Tamalolo needed that. They're at 43 metres for tackle. They might even get to the 50. That's a good 40-metre gain here. Really good 40-metre gain. They go to the left-hand side here. They might have numbers. They give it across here to Jackson Purdue. Jackson Purdue gets away from a couple. Then he'll be taken out to 45. That's a great 45-metre set there from the Cows. Again, there's no problem with the Cows when they've got the ball in hand. And they kick low to the sideline, and Reece Walsh will pick it up here at the 15. He gets that pass away to Josiah Katapani, and the Broncos will get taken back here to the 15 on first tackle. Really nice set there from North Queensland. And now Josiah Katapani, he'll get... Oh, down. No, that's bad defense from the Cowboys. And he's away. The 50, the 45, the 40, and Scott Drinkwater saves their bacon at the 40. That was awful defense from North Queensland. The Broncos are already away here again. It's Billy Walters at the 23 on third tackle. 10 minutes into the first half, 30 minutes to go here of the first half. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. Paddy Carrigan to Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt short ball into Jordan Ricky. And the Broncos are already attacking again, 15 metres out. You never bat this Cowboys defense in 13 on 13, let alone 13 on 12. Ben Hunt short ball. They're awful. Their defense is pathetic. Katoni Staggs has just walked through the line there. The Cowboys, you have awful defense. Awful. To allow that Broncos breakaway at the 30 after such a phenomenal set. Like, that's not even a 13 on 12 situation. That try there happens on a 13 on 13 situation. Cowboys, there's a reason why. There is a reason why this season they have given up as many points as they have. The Cowboys this year have given up 646 points. They are already below the Titans there on 655. They have given up a ridiculous amount of points, and it's just so easy. Like, again, that's a 3-on-3 out there. It's a 3-on-3, but the Cowboys defense is not closing in on their players, and the Broncos are going to score a very easy try. I can see the Cowboys getting done by 60 here at this rate. I can see them getting done by 60 here at this rate. Dead set. Look at this. You've got Ruben Cotter's playing in the centres there for some reason. You got Ruben Cotter out there. Where is your centre? Oh, it was Braden. To be fair, that is down the side. That is down that wing. No, it makes sense why he's there in the centre because that is down the side of Braden Burns. But at the end of the day, it was still 3-on-3 out there, and Ruben Cotter decided to come in, which allowed Katoni Staggs for an easy run through to the try line. Mitchell says, how do you manage to make the Broncos look good? Well, they've been scoring points really easy recently. They've been scoring points really easily. I know it was against the Knights and the Dolphins, giving up 160 points, but like at the end of the day, this Cowboys team loves to give up points. They went out to a hot start against the Tigers last week. We're up 12-0, and then the Tigers came back to make it 18-12 at half time. And then the Cowboys, they can score very quickly. They scored 3 tries in 5 minutes when they were down by 12 with like 12 minutes to go and find a way to win the game. But the Broncos are a better team than the Tigers. Sean James go 60+, so it's 700 points against. 60+, so it's 700 points against? What do you mean? Oh, you're talking about for the defense, yeah. Well, if they lost this game by, if they conceded 54 points here today, they'd go under the 700 marker. They would. Art of Limits is looking like a 50+. Well, unfortunately, you're going to get timed out because you can't talk about a 50 bomb yet. But right this very second, it's not looking pretty for North Queensland. Tony Staggs has the most line breaks this year with 24. Josh Ricard with 23. Mark Nwanga Tawase with 22. 22. I love a good error or 25 also. Yeah, we do see the Cowboys love a good error. Broncos win, will they get into 4th place? And yes, they'll be in the top 4. And then they'll need to beat the Melbourne Storm next week because I do have the Sharks to beat the Knights. And then I do have the Sharks to beat a Bulldogs team that will probably rest all their players. So that means the Broncos will have to beat the Melbourne Storm. Carrigan to Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt to Reece Walsh. Then they give it across to Katoni Staggs. And they're at the 35. Staggs rolls it back to Ben Hunt. Then off to Jordan Ricky. And Ricky will be at the 45 on 4th tackle. Braden says, hey, could you put the game on the bottom side of the screen, please? Hey, Braden, get a job. How about that one? You are very well aware that you're looking for an illegal stream, mate. You're very well aware. I don't even know that's a knock on there from the Broncos. That was good defense from the Cows. You're very well aware that it is illegal to show the game. You are literally looking for an illegal stream. So riddle me that one. I want you to do me some mathematical equations and think if I could legally show you the game on the screen. How about that one, Braden? You've been here long enough too. You've been here well and truly. That's why I replied to you like that. Because you've been here well and truly long enough to know that it is illegal. That's why you're looking for an illegal stream. Because you don't have KO. How about that one? Unless you want to donate $2 to $4 billion so I can go toe-to-toe with the Fox Sports and Channel 9 for the broadcast, unfortunately not going to happen. I even told you where to put the illegal footage. Yeah, I appreciate that for putting the illegal footage in the corner. Yeah, really appreciate that thought. Do you really think if I could legally put the game on the screen that I wouldn't? If I could legally do it, do you really think that I wouldn't do it? So the Cowboys now will get this ball to the 30 on second tackle. The viewership would be insane numbers if I could put the game on screen, but obviously it's illegal. Tom Dearden at the 30 gives it to Jordan McLean. 3 minutes 42 left of this bin here for the Cowboys. Braden Burns still in the bin. But the Cowboys at least get their first attack of the game. Tom Dearden with the ball. He'll give it up to Jason Tamalolo, who gets crunched in the tackle at the 20. At the 20. Fourth tackle. And now Jordan McLean hits Grass McGrath. And be Jeremiah Nene, who'll be at the 20 on fifth tackle. Fifth tackle here for the Cows. Reece Robson off to Tom Dearden. Dearden puts that ball up into the middle. Cowboys catch it. Cowboys catch it. Can they get the offload away? They do. Tom Dearden, he'll get it across. John Bateman, he'll flick it. That's going to be a knock on there from the Broncos. And the Cowboys will get a restart here about 12 metres out. It's accidental, but it doesn't really matter for the penalty. So it's just going to be Cowboys ball here at the 13. But a little bit of excitement there. A little bit of excitement where the Cowboys found a way to nearly come through. Zach Labert with a great grab, a great flick out of Tom Dearden. And I'm surprised that Bateman didn't try to throw that ball out to the right. But now the Cowboys will get their first real crack at the line for the Broncos, and they're going to want this scrum to slow down as much as they possibly can so they can get back their full 13 on 13 with Braden Burns. Cowboys here very quickly through the line. Jake Clifford 5 metres out from the line. That's a 6 again. That's got to be 6 again here against the Broncos, and it is. Jordan McLean now. He's going to be 4 metres out from the line. He's looking for an offload. He'll be 3 metres out. First tackle for the Cowboys. They roll it back to Reece Robson. Robson to Tom Dearden. Dearden at the 10. He gives it off to Drinkwater. Here's an easy try coming up for the Cowboys. Semi Valame down a man, and the Cowboys will still find a way to score. And this is the thing with the Cowboys. They give up bulk points. They give up points upon points upon points. But guess what? They score, and they score, and they score. Outnumbered them down that right-hand sideline with a man to bin. The Broncos overloaded the inner, right around the post, and then it was just so easy with a 2-on-1 down the wing, and Semi Valame will score. And this is going to soak up the time. They're going to get their man back from the bin. Man back from the bin. Dasmay says, I am today years old, finding out Valtteri Bottas, a.k.a. Blake Taff, is going to Castleford. And Rugby Sports with a try-time bing-bong mother, bitch. Tanner says this is going to be high scoring. Yeah, maybe so. Well, it looked like the Broncos were just going to absolutely piece this Cowboys team apart in that first 10 minutes, but that was just way too easy for the Cowboys there, especially with a man down. Ray says, please, Cowboys, what happens to you, please? I'm trusting you, please. Well, there's a lot of pleas there. A lot of pleas. Hopefully they take your pleas with a good thought process and get back into this game, because it is an 8-point game with a kick to come, though, for the Cows to bring it back within 6. The Tony Staggs try was incredibly weak defense there from the Cowboys, but the first try was just good work from Reece Walsh, really, and unfortunately Tom Dearden with not a great defensive tackle for the missed tackle, but it was great work from Reece Walsh regardless. Ray likes a good please. You love a good please. And Scott Drinkwater here from the wing. He will curl that bad boy right over the black dot. It is 12-6 to the Broncos with 24 minutes to go here the first half. I think there might be a minute left of this bin for Braden Burns. They'll be back to 13 on 13. Gary, I've answered this question many times over the last few weeks, but I will do it again. Why do wingers come off the wing to try and tackle the inside player that was covered? So, if you believe that okay, so it's very difficult. Wingers' defense is usually very much so misunderstood by people watching the game. So there's a lot of different options. So if a winger stays on his wing and the centre goes in, there's a massive gap in between, they score the try, right? If a winger comes in, and because of if a winger comes in, they're probably going to score a try on the wing, right? So the winger, if his centre rushes in, he has to make one of two choices, and whichever choice he makes is probably going to be the wrong one. But in regards to what you're saying, if a winger comes in off his wing when the centre is remaining and staying in his line, then that is purely on the winger. In that situation, though, there was a 2-on-1 situation, so that means that the centre has come in, which means that the winger must come in too. So that's why there was no winger there on defence, because if there's a 2-on-1 out on that sideline, it means the winger has had to come in. Unless I've misseen that and the winger is actually inside the centre, if the winger was the one that got caught in between the two players, then that's ultimately the centre's fault because the winger has chosen to come in because the centre's come in, otherwise they would have scored an easy one through the centre. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm getting at? So the Cowboys now will kick that ball up to the 25. Broncos knock the ball on, and the Cowboys, they're going to get another attacking opportunity here, 25 metres out. Oh my gosh, Broncos, what's happening? What's happening? I think the centre was covered. But what I'm saying is, so we've seen two Cowboys players come in here, and it was a 2-on-1. So who is this one? Is this one the winger, or is this one the centre? Because there was two players coming through for that try, for the Cowboys just then. So they had a 2-on-1. So I'm saying if this is the centre, then that means the winger's come in and that's all fault of the winger. But if this is the winger, then that means the centre's already inside and there's a 2-on-1 situation with the winger, which is why there's an open try for Semi Valame. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if this is the winger, then that's not necessary. That's not his fault. If this is the centre, then the winger's obviously here and that is absolutely his fault. Gary says, I know exactly what you mean, but you need to trust your inside defender. But where was the centre? Unless this is the centre, where was he? He must have been inside. Because it was 2-on-1. So left-hand side here, Cowboys, Tom Dearden gives it off here to Scott Drinkwater. And Scott Drinkwater, third tackle, 12 metres out from the line. Mitchell says, disruptor's just magically not a thing anymore. Tigers fans not happy about that. So Tom Dearden at the 15 gives it to Jordan McLean. And Jordan McLean's going to be 10 metres out and 4 tackle. Disruptor is the most confusing. Oh, that's a penalty to the Cowboys. That's a penalty to the Cowboys. They're right in front of the post, but obviously they're not going to take the 2. They're down by 6 points right now. Well, this all of a sudden this game's turned back on. All of a sudden the Cowboys have turned this game back on and given a little bit of belief behind them. And the Cowboys, we all know they can score. Reece Robson to Reuben Cotter, and Reuben Cotter is going to be 4 metres away from the line. First tackle. Down by 6, back to the full 13 on 13. Robson across the Jordan. Jason Tamalolo, sorry. He'll be 4 metres out and cut down. Looked like he might have been lined up for a try, though. Robson, try time for the Cowboys. Right next to the post, and bang, bang, the Cowboys slap it in. And we're about to see a tied game here, lads. We're about to see a tied game here. Wow, wow, wee, wah. Wow, wow, wee, wah. Cowboys just go bang, bang to make it a 12-12 game because this is from right in front of the post. I just want to make sure he doesn't use his player rolling the ball here as an obstruction. I don't think he does. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It is a fine try. So Reece Robson will score right next to the post. Really good dummy there, and then just runs it straight, and then it gets the line. No, hold your horses, Michael Ennis. The reason why he drops the ball is because it goes over the line. I don't know why Ennis is saying hold your horses. It's try confirm, mate. I don't know why Michael Ennis is saying hold your horses. The reason why he lost that ball was because the ball hit the line over the try line, and then it just rolls out from there. It's all right, Braden. Just go with the flow, son. Go with the flow, read the room. We fit in with the room here, son. And we are looking at maybe a complete belcher of game now. At the first 10 minutes, it looked like the Broncos are going to run away by 70. And now the Cowboys are about to tie this game up at 12-12. Scott Drinkwater to take the kick. And Scott Drinkwater will put it through. So it's 12-12 with 20 minutes to go here in the first half, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Do not forget, tomorrow we'll be live for a big game, Sharks Knights. Depending on this Broncos result, that Sharks game is huge. And also the Knights are trying to avoid the spoon because the Titans against the Dolphins in the later game, if the Titans get a win, well, the Titans jump out of the last place and the Knights go to last. If the Knights can win, then it doesn't matter what the Titans do, and that's pretty much wrapped up for the wooden spoon. Maybe, because next week still has to play, but the Titans would have to win tomorrow. But the Knights are playing for something, the Titans are playing for something, the Dolphins are still technically playing for something too. They just really need the Rabbitohs to beat the Roosters next week. And the Sharks are obviously fighting for a top 4 spot. So there's a lot going on tomorrow, despite the fact the games don't look juicy. There is a lot going on tomorrow. Yeah, Adderlim says, hold your horses, try confirmed. I don't know what he was looking at because it was very clear the ball came down. It was very clear it was the try. The only thing that could have been used was maybe the run behind from the guy who played the ball. But outside of that, there was nothing wrong with the put down at all. I don't know what Michael Ennis was thinking. But then again, Michael Ennis is probably just daydreaming about watching the Panthers at the moment. Tom Dearden goes right-hand side. They've got space. And he'll get this ball to the 48. 4 tackle. Jeez, this has changed around, eh? This has really changed around. Reece Robson, 6 again here, and John Bateman now to the 35. He'll get the offload away to Reece Robson. Cowboys are on fire at the moment. Ruben Cotter is now 30 metres out, gives it off to Drinkwater. Drinkwater here at the 25. They're playing like this is the grand final, last seconds of the game. It's going to be Jake Clifford. He steps him. He's 20 metres out. He's 15 metres out. He's 10 metres away. He's still going. He's 8 metres out from the line, first tackle. This is crazy right now. First tackle, Reece Robson goes left. Tom Dearden, short ball into the line. Jeremiah Nene, 3 metres out, second tackle. What has this game turned into? And it's a 6 again for the Cowboys. Jackson Purgey back to Tom Dearden. Tom Dearden to Jason Tamalolo, and he's going to get this ball 5 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Second tackle, Reece Robson. He'll go across to Tom Dearden. Tom Dearden at the back again to Drinkwater. There's space here, there's space here, there's space here, there's space here. Over the sideline. There is plenty of space, and the Cowboys will throw it over the sideline. Jeez, that was wild. That was wild. JC Smoke says, wait, where's Robson going with the Cowboys signing Reed Marnie? He's going to the... it's Raiders or Dragons? I think it's Dragons, isn't it? Oh, the Cowboys are going to challenge this and say that this was touched by the Broncos. Can someone confirm me? Where is Robson going? He's going Dragons, yes? Or is it Raiders? I think it's Dragons. Roosters. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is Roosters. Oh, I don't know. This will be close here. Does it touch his head, Josiah Katapani? But it'd be not played at anyway. Not Katapani, it's Dean Mariner. If you're making a tackle, they actually probably will call this as played at. I don't think you're going to have conclusive evidence there, man. I don't think you're going to have conclusive evidence of a ball change. I think you probably call this no, there's no touch. It's a lost challenge. Yeah, no, it's a lost challenge. It is just like I was right. The commentary said Dean Mariner. They're just going to lose this challenge here, the Cowboys. MM says, what is it when a team score, they get the ball kicked back to them, they gain possession again? Yes, if you score, you get the ball kicked back to you. Yes. So Broncos have the ball at the 18, and they'll give it off to Gehamad Shibasaki, who gets this ball to the 25. Out of limits, so let's go Cowboys. Well, at least we've got a cracker game here. Well, I was doubting my underdog potential of the Cowboys 5-10 minutes into this game with how they were playing, but geez, now I'm happy with the fact that I said there might be an underdog getting up here today. Geez, game of rugby league can turn just like that. Or just sport in general can turn just like that. The Broncos are away now. 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 Scott Drinkwater, can he make the last-ditch tackle? He can slow him down at the very least. It'll be 4 tackle for the Broncos, 15 metres out. Cowboys get back quickly. Broncos. Ben Hunt slammed by Reece Robson. He gets the offload away, and then Jordan Ricky taking it out of the 10. 6 again here for the Broncos. I didn't think they were inside the 10 metres there. I think it's a bit of a dodgy, but anyway, Broncos 6 again, first tackle at the 15. Cowboys all got back on side. I disagree with that, but anyway, second tackle here, 10 metres away for the Broncos. Here's your chance to hit right on back. As we were saying before, it looks like there might be plenty of points in this one. The way that, close to 4 past that. Oh, jeez, the whole crowd went up for that. Cowboys fans do love going up for anything, though, at North Queensland. Third tackle. And Corey Paix, who's back on the field, he'll get that ball off, and Hetherington will be 3 metres out from the line. Fourth tackle. Corey Paix gives it off to Billy Walters at the back here. Good rush up defense, but they can't. Oh, Ben Hunt then gets the offload away. Over the top, it's going to be plenty of players out here to stop Josiah Katapan. No, Dean Mariner. I get confused. I don't know why my brain always gets confused between Dean Mariner and Josiah Katapani. Fifth tackle now for the Broncos. 15 metres out. Reece Walsh. Big pass across here. That's a forward pass from Reece Walsh. That's a forward pass, and the Cowboys will get the ball here at the 10. What a game. What a game, lads. What a game. Now, Sean's is always a good game when these two teams play. Well, I did say that. That's why I said that if there's going to be an upset today, it would come from the Cowboys on the basis that the Broncos and Cowboys are the big rivals of Queensland. They've played plenty of times over the years. It's a knock-on from the Cowboys at the 13. They can't challenge it either. The Broncos can use that to their advantage all game today. They lost their challenge, and now the Broncos will get the ball to 13. You know, like the Cowboys are playing at Townsville. They're playing for pride. They're playing to hurt their big brother's season in regards to the top 4. They can score points, but they do leak points. The Broncos still have plenty of players out. Like, if there was going to be an upset, it would be this one. But, you know, the Cowboys got to a really bad start. But they fired back into it, and now they're given plenty of opportunity for the Broncos to get themselves right back into the lead. Sean James with 34 likes. Come on down. Yeah, smack the 50. Let's get 50 likes by half-time. Let's get 50 likes in by half-time for sure. See that thumbs up button. Broncos here. Tony Staggs. Great run to the 5. It's going to be first tackle. Cowboys give points up for free at will, man. So, Broncos, if you're anything special, you should be scoring here. But you are without Adam Reynolds and Ezra Mann. You give it back. Corey Pakes. He'll go to Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt underneath here. Jaden Hunt, who's 7 metres out, third tackle. Now, Corey Pakes fakes it, goes left. Then he gives it off to Billy Walters. Billy Walters into the line. Get him up, Shibasaki. Shibasaki is going over the sideline. Wow, that's good defense, Cows. Wow, that's good defense, Cows. Not only does he go over the sideline, but he goes into the dead ball lines. That's going to be Cowboys ball at the 20 rather than the 10. And wow, that was getting close to Shibasaki just dropping down for a try, but the Cowboys do take him over the dead ball line, and this is going to be a nice little 7-tackle setting for the Cows at the 20. Kill Series is good win, but don't know how this one will go. Good win? What do you mean good win? Now Cowboys will be first tackle at the 20. No, at the 40, sorry. First tackle at the 40. Mitchell says, there's no way Denver haven't sent out a scout to the Broncos games to watch Wells. Yeah, he does like a nice little forward pass. Very, very Peyton Manning-esque, the old Reese-y-peasy Reece Welsh. Michael says, if the Broncos lose down fraud alert, yep. So third tackle now for the Cowboys. Reece Robson, good little run. They're already 4 tackle at 25. Look at the meters, 28. Look at the meters the Cowboys are making. It was 0 tackle at the 20. Now it's 4 tackle at the 25 on the other side of the field. Left-hand side, knock on Cowboys. Knock on Cowboys, and the Broncos will get the ball here at the 20. Peter says, eyes are on Walshy again. Give him a break. There are 12 other players. What? Well, he was the one who threw the ball forward, though. Like, what do you want us to say here, Peter? Like, at the end of the day, Reece Welsh is Reece Welsh. He knows that he's the big game player, but also can make a lot of mistakes. But he was the one who just threw that forward pass just then. So I don't know why you would complain that we're talking about Reece Welsh right now when he was the one who threw that forward pass. He needs to be the one to make the big plays with no Adam Reynolds and no Ezra Mann, and you're not really going to see too heavily the big plays coming from Ben Hunt or Billy Walters in the halves, so Reece Welsh is going to have to do it. But why would you criticise the fact that people are going to have a crack at Reece Welsh when at the end of the day we know that's what he has to do, but he has to get those plays right because otherwise he puts his team under pressure, which they did. Luckily the Cowboys knocked on right after that, but ultimately we're going to look at Reece Welsh. He is their star player, and he has to take the line on, and he has to really get the Broncos flowing in attack. So he's going to have the criticism on him, but he's also going to get the biggest regards if he does it well. It's just that's how it happens. All eyes are on him because that's the kind of player that he is. He demands the eyes to be on him, for good or for bad. Ben Hunt now puts this ball down into the corner. It's a decent chase on the Broncos, but the Cowboys will grab it. Braden Burns, he'll get this ball at the 8. First tackle. And now Jackson Purdue gets his ball to the 13 on second tackle. Mitchell says Peter has his pants down. Pants are down. Now Semi Valame. He's going to get this ball out here to the 20. Great run to the 24, actually. Third tackle. Saved their bacon a little bit. They're now out of a lot of trouble. And Thomas McHale. What a huge run to the 35 on fourth tackle. Oh, they're very close to giving away a penalty to the Bronx, but they won't get it there. And now the Cowboys will get that to the 47 or so on fifth tackle. It was looking like a rough set, but they still end up getting about 40 metres or so from it. Cowboys chasing the through nicely. Jeremiah Nene. Oh, great take by Dean Mariner. Wow, that's a great take at the 22. James Stevens says, we've got no sting in our defence. Yeah, I'd agree right now, but this is a really close game. You just don't know where this one's going to go from here. The Cowboys are really aiming up in regards to throwing everything at them, but they have made a few mistakes and critical errors. Critical times at the moment. Broncos spread this ball right-hand side, and Shibasaki gets away from a couple, then taken down to the 38. Couldn't get the offload away, third tackle. They've both had 53 runs. Very even game in that regards. Lee says, do the Dolphins have a chance to make the top 8? They would have to beat the Titans tomorrow, and they'd have to have the Roosters lose to the Rabbitohs, and then they have to beat the Raiders next week. And the Raiders have the minor premiership, so they probably rest their players. Corey Pakes gives it off here. Broncos, Hetherington. Oh, the 33, fifth tackle. 10 minutes to go here of the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 10 minutes to go here of the first half. Sorry, not the game. Good kick over the top. Drinkwater. We'll have to knock it out for a dropout. Wowee. We'll have to knock it out for a dropout. So dropout coming up here from the Cows to the Broncos. Cage says, what's the score? I'm going to give you a bit of a where's Waldo here, mate, and say, maybe let's look at the screen. Let's try and figure out if we can find Waldo on the screen. Let's see if we can find Waldo on the screen. Gary says, my missus just walked into the lounge and said, who's that getting excited on there? Mate, that's me getting excited. That's me. And Scott Drinkwater with a short dropout here. Good area. And Broncos knock on. Penalty Cowboys. Oh, boy. Penalty Cowboys here. Reece Walsh drops it, goes forward, and the Broncos player picks it up offside. Penalty Cowboys. Paul says, come on, Broncos, you can do it. Close game here. Yeah, Zach Labor just making himself a menace there. And unfortunately for the Broncos, they do give away the penalty. Dolphins should win tomorrow, Braden says. Yeah, well, they should, but they've also given up 160 points through the last 3 weeks, so it's not like their defense is anything to back right now, and sometimes the Titans can score some good points. I do think the Dolphins should win that, but I think it is a bit of a danger game there for Redcliffe. They have, conceded 64 points to the Roosters. They've conceded 38 points to an injured Broncos team, and they also conceded 58 points to a Manly team, so... there's still a lot of worries about the Redcliffe Dolphins, but against the 17th place Titans, you would absolutely be fully expecting them to beat them. But it'll be interesting how that one lines up. Jake Clifford, he'll be 45 metres away from the Broncos line on 4 tackle. Santa says Titans 13 plus. Mate, our weekly dose of depression is tomorrow, but I will be here for it. Drinkwater gives it off to Jackson Purdue, and he'll be 25 metres away, fit tackle. 9 minutes left here in the first half. Jake Clifford, he'll put that ball up into the corner. The chase through here is fine. Knock back from the Broncos. And it's going to be a Broncos knock on, are they calling? I think they're calling Cowboys ball at a 10. I think this is, they're going to say Reece Walsh has made a mistake here. So anyway, Peter, Corey, you understand what I was saying there before, however? Peter says... lies on him because he is... Yeah, it is a knock-on from Reece Walsh. Yeah, no, it is. So Ruben Cotter then touched it. So double knock-on, but Cowboys get the ball 10 metres out. Cage is at the real score. Mate, I'm going to get... I really don't even know why I'm replying to you here, to be fair. Tom Dearden gives it off here to Zach Labert. Labert is 8 metres out. Yeah, no, he's been timed out. Jay's timed him out. How about that one for a real score? You've been really timed out, that's for sure. Thomas McHale will be 4 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Here come the Cowboys. They go Reece Robson out the back here to Jake Clifford. Clifford a Drinkwater. Oh, that's going to be, I think, knocked on by the Broncos. No, it's going to be off a Cowboys. So it's going to be Broncos ball here at the 18, I think. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that might have been knocked on for the Broncos, but maybe not. Oh, Tony Staggs gets a risky offload away, but Dean Mariner makes the most of it and brings it out to the 35 on second tackle. Tomorrow's game is a real local derby, is it? Yeah, it is. It is a local derby between Redcliffe and the Titans. Third tackle now for the Broncos. They'll be at the 50. And Corey Pakes with a quick run through here. He'll get this ball to the 40 on 4 tackle. At least they've made some good meters here, the Bronx. Ben Hunt goes right-hand side. There's a lot. This game's intense right now. Broncos get through. And Hetherington. Can he get the offload away? He can't. Fit tackle now for the Broncos. They're 8 metres away. 8 metres away. Left-hand side of Reece Walsh. He's at the 10. He kicks this ball through, and that's going to be way too hard. If that was anything less kick from Reece Walsh, it's a guaranteed try for Billy Walters. Any kind of soft kick there, and Billy Walters is a guaranteed try, but Reece Walsh does kick that ball dead over the dead ball line, and it's going to be a 7-tackle setting for the Cows. Bretton says Walsh had time why he kicked so hard. If he kicks that anything short, anything small, it's a guaranteed try for Billy Walters, but unfortunately it just kept on bouncing over the dead ball line, and Walsh has had a bit of a shocker so far in a lot of ways. He did have a great assist there in the first try, but he's had a bit of a shocker in a lot of other parts of this game. So second tackle here for the Cowboys, and they'll be at the 45. Another close game here for the Cows. We saw them in a close game last week come up trumps, but you'd expect the Broncos to have a bit more about them than the Tigers. Now third tackle here for the Cowboys into the attacking half, 48 metres out, Thomas McHale. Yeah, he kicked it too hard. Steve says, come on, Cows, finish these dirtbag pricks off. Wow, 6 again for the Cowboys. Out the back to Drinkwater. Drinkwater's got space. Drinkwater's got space at the 25. First tackle here for the Cows. First tackle. Zach Labart across to Tom Dearden. Tom Dearden into the line for Ruben Cotter, and he's just going to run this ball to the 15. Second tackle. Second tackle here for the Cowboys. Robson out to Tom Dearden. Dearden into the line. Jeremiah Nene flicks it up. It's going to be try time, I think, for the Cowboys. I'm pretty certain that was flicked back from Nene into the Broncos player, and it's going to be a try for Jake Clifford, sorry. Nene was trying to flick the ball out the back, and it will be Jake Clifford who comes up with it. I think the Broncos actually, it comes off the body of the Broncos player backwards, and then Jake Clifford obviously finds it to score. So they were down 12-0 early. They've come rocketing back into it, and they are hurting the Broncos season right now. Yeah, this is just going to be unfortunately knocked back there from Reece Walsh with the flick back from Nene, and it's going to be try time for Jake Clifford. Down 12-0 in the first 10 minutes, had a sin bin. And now they're up 16-12. Wow, you can't blame Reece Walsh for that. It's just unlucky. Now, if the flick pass does come off anyway, Clifford's right there. So either way, and then unfortunately the boot of Reece Walsh will bounce it into a perfect position for Clifford to score. Well, right now, Broncos, you are not making the top 4. And right now, Sharks fans, if you were to win your game, you would be in the top 4. It's a long way to go in this one. But try confirm for the Cowboys, and they've turned it over a 12-0 deficit into a 16-12 lead. And it all comes, that's a 12-point swing right there. The Broncos with Reece Walsh, if he does a little bit of a dink to Billy Walters, it's a guaranteed try, easy try, not even a fullback in sight, not a player in sight, Billy Walters scores. And instead, the Cowboys get a 7-tackle set at the 20, they go up the length of field, and they score immediately to make it 16-12, and probably going to be 18-12 any moment now. You know, game of inches, rugby league, game of inches, and Drinkwater will make it an 18-12 game to the Cowboys with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in the first half. Nashon says Walsh not making it easier for the Broncos. Absolutely not making it easier for the Broncos here. Absolutely not. But you can't blame him for that try there. He's made the tackle on Jeremiah Nene. Nene's flicking the ball out the back. It's an unlucky deflection from Reece Walsh's boot and from his body that's landed in place there for Jake Clifford. So, yeah, look, I can't lay too heavily of a blame there on Reece Walsh, but you can blame him for the too far kick. You can blame him for the forward pass, and you can blame him for a couple of mistakes in this game. Braden says, okay. So it's going to be Broncos kicking this ball down to the Cows. They're going to be 3 metres out. And here's a big run from Thomas McHale. I've been very impressed by him the last couple of weeks. Didn't really get too much of an opportunity at the Titans and has taken a while to get an opportunity at the Cowboys, but he's taken it by the horns at the moment. Now, Broncos, can you find a way to level this game up at half-time? Despite being up 12-0, well, the Cowboys, they scored 24 unanswered points. Can they score again? Comment in the chat who you think wins from here, guys. Broncos or Cowboys? Comment in the chat right now. Brian says, why are the Cowboys so inconsistent over the years, considering their players? Well, I just think it comes down to their defense. Broncos get the ball to 30. They're saying knock on first Cowboys? Well, if that goes... I didn't think that went forward there from John Bateman. But anyway, they're going to say knock on it for the Cowboys, and they cannot challenge it. The reason being is their defense, Brian. It is their defense. Even in 2022, when they made that great finals run, their defense was still a bit how you going, but it was a lot better. And then it's just been a constant trajectory of worse defense and honestly worse attack until the last couple of rounds of this season. Their attack has been pretty lackluster this year as well, but they've found their attacking fluidity again. It's just their defense that's still maintained as a pretty poor defense. So scrum here for the Broncos at the 30, and Ben Hunt goes right inside. Broncos 10 from 16 completions, not good. Cowboys 15 from 21, not good. But the Broncos are at a 63% completion rate, which is really poor. And the Cowboys aren't any much better at 71%. So Broncos are at 18 metres out here from the line. And they give it off to Ben Talty now, 10 metres out from the line. Yeah, good call, Jay. I was going to suggest that. Out to Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt gives it to Jordan Ricky. Good run there from Ricky. I criticised him a bit, but that was a good run from him. 5 metres out. They give it to Ben Hunt. Ben Hunt short ball into the line. 3 metres away from the line. Cowboys defense has been pretty good this set. Broncos throwing a bit at him. They go out to the left. Corey Pakes. Billy Walters all the way across here. Try time for the Broncos. Josiah Katapani out on the left-hand side. It's a great pass from Billy Walters, to be fair. Great pass from Billy Walters. And the Broncos will score to make it 18-16. Kick to come from the left-hand side. And there is not much defense going on here today, lads. There is not much defense going on here today, but it's a nice try for the Broncos. Really crisp pass from Billy Walters at the 10. Cuts out 2 players. And just nice there for Josiah Katapani to put the ball down to the corner. Daz, can you get that smoking clip from Insta? You're talking about that Melbourne Storm fan, dude. Go Bronx will finish the try. Well, they do score in the corner. Bryant says up the Cowboys. Well, they've given away that try there right on half time, but both teams have conceded a try on half time. And 9 tries in, I think, 9 matches, they just said, from Josiah Kotapani this season. Beautiful pass there from Billy Walters, though. Well, it's about to be maybe an 18-18 game if Reece Walsh can get this conversion. Yeah, 9 tries in 9 games for Kotapani. Yeah. Okay, I think that was Entertain House who sent me that. That was Entertain House who sent me that message. So Reece Walsh, I've got the guy blocked, so I haven't been able to watch it. All right, so 1 minute and 4 seconds to go the first half. Reece Walsh from the left-hand sideline. He will make the kick over the black dot. So it is 18-18 with 1 minute to go the first half. 18-18, cracker game coming on up here. 18-18, 53 seconds to go here until half-time. Sean says, mate, it's raining that hard here. I am lip-reading you. Well, welcome to rainy season, Thailand. What a pass from Billy Walters, though. Gee whiz. And great kick from Reece Walsh under pressure. 53 seconds left. And this first half has absolutely deserved a tie score at half-time. Broncos have had their moments. Cowboys have had their moments. It is all set up for a belter of a second half. And this is what you expect out of a Queensland derby like this. All right. Tom Dearden will kick that ball off. And it will go to the 2 metres where Payne Haas now will bring this ball out here to the 15. Great post contact to the 20. You know that's coming from Payne. 44 seconds left. Can we see one more score before halftime? Billy Walters to Josiah Kotapani, and he'll be taken down at the 28-second tackle. Is there going to be some form of trick shot? Is there going to be something the Broncos can throw without making too much of a risk? They go right inside Dean Mariner. Dean Mariner's away here. Jake Clifford, is he going to be able to get to him? He's away here. He's away here. He's away here. Back onto the inside of Reece Welsh. Try time for the Broncos. And this game just got turned on its head. And that's the Cowboys, if I ever did see the Cowboys. That was a fantastic play from Josiah Kotapani. Reece Walsh has followed up here. That's not on Reece. That's on Josiah Kotapani. That is absolute... not Kotapani. Again, it's probably Dean Mariner down the right-hand side. Dean Mariner with an absolutely huge play down the wing. And the Broncos will score right on half-time to lead 22-18 with a kick to come. There was the trick play that I was talking about. They get it out to him, and then it was really good work there from Mariner to step in, step out, step in, step out. And then nice work there. Dearden does try to make the tackle, but as soon as Mariner was one-on-one, you saw Reece Walsh underneath him. You knew it was just going to be a try, and Reece Walsh does get it, and he does score in the corner. So it is 22-18 with a kick to come. 22-18 with a kick to come. Reece Walsh has had a really up and down game this one. He's been really bad, but he's also had his moments. Again, I would say this is like Dean Mariner with a brilliant run, though. Brilliant run. Well, he's on the ground. He's still backed up the try. Yeah, absolutely. That was good work from Reece Walsh. So, you know, Walsh has had some great moments. He's had some awful moments. You know, that's the kind of player that Reece Walsh can be. But really good to see him absolutely follow that up as well. Okay, Cage, we're just going to hide you from the channel, mate, because we can't be bothered with you. So, 22-18 with the Broncos, and they've got a kick to make it a 24-18 game here at half-time. Back and forth game. Broncos led 12-0, then Cowboys made it 18-12, and then Broncos have now made it 22-18 with a kick to come. Richard says Reece Walsh best player of the match. Have you been watching the game, Richard? He's made some really bad plays, really bad, but he's also had a couple of good plays. Overall, at the moment, I'd say the player of the match would probably be coming from... Billy Walters actually has got to be a little bit up there. I haven't really rated him as a 6, but he's been doing pretty decently today. Been doing decently. Payne Haas has been great too, though. Like, he's had some great moments, Reece Walsh, but he's also had some really poor ones. And Reece Walsh will miss the kick, so it will stay 22-18. That could be a crucial missed kick there. But that was a crazy good first half. That was a crazy, crazy good first half where no teams had any defense, but there was plenty of great attacking play on offer. The Broncos will lead 22-18. I don't know how this one's going to finish because there's still plenty of points probably left in this game. But the Cowboys, despite the fact of their ladder position of down there in 14th position, they are taking it to Big Brother right now in 5th position. And it was 18-18 before that try time this end for the Broncos. They scored 2 tries in the last 5 minutes. The Cowboys scored 1. This game is just all over the shop. You know, we just see both teams going ham. at any given moment, man. So plenty of time in the second half to turn it all around. Let's look at the stats and let's look at who scored the tries. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and let me know who you think will win from here in the chat. Now, the Cowboys have scored through Sammy Valame, Reece Robson and Jake Clifford. The Broncos have scored through Gehamachi Masagi, Katoni Staggs, Josiah Kotapani and also Reece Walsh. Now, the stats so far. You've got the possession of 52% for the Cowboys, 48% for the Broncos, so basically even. Time of possession, wow, very paltry here. 11 minutes and 29 seconds for the Cowboys and 10 minutes 50 for the Broncos. That's poor as a game overall. That's only 22... it's 21, it's about 22 minutes and 19 seconds of game time here. Wow, that's really, really poor stuff. That does mean there's been a lot of errors in this game. A lot of errors. Gee whiz. The time possession, you want to see at minimum 25%. That's still quite low. It's only been about 22 minutes of gameplay here. Obviously, a lot of tries, which is taking away a lot of minutes. But you're also seeing a lot of errors, which is hurting that number. Now, in regards to the completion rate, you want to be seeing at least 80%. But you're not going to see that from these two teams because they've made a lot of mistakes here today. The Cowboys are at 71% with 15 from 21 completion rate. That's 6 incomplete sets. 71% is not awful, but it's getting close enough to awful. It's not great there. And the Broncos are at 75% at 12 from 16. That's not great. It's a little bit better there than the Cowboys, but at the end of the day, it's still not fantastic at 75%. You need to be seeing at least 80%. Then you go to the runs. Cowboys with 83 runs for 756 run meters. The Broncos with 74 runs for 826 run meters. So this right there shows the Broncos are dominating the run meters department. 83 runs is 9 more runs than what the Broncos do have at 74. And if you want to even add on the 10 meters on average per run to try and equal it out, that's an extra 90 meters there for the Broncos. And they are above by about 90 meters on the 10 meters on average per run. So they're getting huge meters on an equation marker as well. But 826 is basically 90 meters above the 10 meters on average per run. So give them an extra 90 meters. They would be at 916 meters, which is 160 odd better than the Cowboys of 756. The Cowboys are 80 meters behind the 10 meters on average metric, whilst the Broncos are 90 meters above it. So the Broncos are killing the run meters department in this game. Post-contact meters as well, with 9 less runs. They're at 231 post-contact meters. The Cowboys are at 223 post-contact meters. So the Broncos are dominating the run meters and the post-contact meters. It was very close to them being down 18-12, very close to being 18-18, but they have just taken the lead at half-time, which does make those stats make more sense, because the Cowboys, they know how to get a bit of a flurry going, but consistently over a game, they're not that great. And that's where this game is situated right now, because the run meters and post-contact is domination from the Broncos. Now, line breaks. Cowboys defense not good. 7 line breaks to the Broncos, 3 line breaks to the Cowboys. 3 is a lot still for a first half, but 7 is monumental. So it does show the Cowboys are lacking in the defense as per usual, but the Broncos are still getting up a few themselves. Tackle breaks, 22 for the Broncos, 12 for the Cowboys. Broncos defensively, that's showing nicely. However, they have still missed a lot of open plays for the Cowboys, which is where they're scoring, because 12 is actually very good in a missed tackle count. 22 is not good for the Cowboys. They're on a missed tackle count. Now, average set distance, 25 and under is pathetic. You turn the stream off. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is average hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus and above is basically perfect. The first half of the Cowboys, they had 36.01. So they are hitting the marker. They are doing what they need to do, but it's on the lower end at 36.01. It's nothing great. It's nothing awful. It's just doing their job right now at a basic level. And then you got the Broncos at 51.65, which is incredible. That is perfect. They're above 50 meters on an average set. That is huge. They are 16 or so meters, nearly 17 meters above where the Cowboys are at with 51.65. That's brilliant. And that leaves you to question how this score is 22 to 18. That leaves you to question why the score was 18-18 up until the siren went. And that leaves you to question how the Cowboys were leading this game 18-12 with about 10 minutes to go here, considering these stats are all gigantically in favor of the Broncos right now. It means that something's still not clicking there, but attacking-wise they're clicking, but also there's something happening with their defense, because they're not missing a lot of tackles here. And they're making a whole bunch of meters. What's happening here with the Broncos to make this such a close game when these stats showing domination right now? Now, average play the ball speed, 3.39 seconds and below is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average, and then 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. 3.8 and above is extremely slow. The Cowboys are at 3.45 seconds, so they're in the average category. They're not playing the ball too fast. They're not playing it too slow. They're just doing their job at 3.45. Whilst the Broncos, they're at 3.38 seconds, so they're just inside the fast category for the play the ball speed. They're getting it going at a pretty normal fast rate, but it is in the fast category, which is about 0.7 seconds. 0.07 seconds behind the Cowboys. So it's not too much of a difference, but they are into the faster category compared to the average category. Now, offloads-wise, 7 to the Broncos, 5 to the Cowboys. Quite a few offloads coming from both those teams there. You've got the forced dropouts of 1-0 Broncos, which they actually ultimately lost that. 100% to the Cowboys on kick defusal, 67% to the Broncos on kick defusal. And then we go down to the effective tackle percentage, and the Cowboys are awful. The Cowboys are awful. Effective tackle percentage is really bad. 85% and below is disgusting, pathetic. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker, and 90% and above is brilliant, perfect defensive efficiency on a tackle percentage. The Cowboys are at 79.76. They are not even at 80%. 85% and below is disgusting. They're at 79.76%. 134 tackles made is a limited amount of tackles, but 22 missed tackles is just insane, and 12 effective tackles is also insane. 15 to 17 is an average amount of missed tackles and a half, and about 6-7 is an average amount of ineffective tackles and a half. They are 5 above the average of the highest average in the ineffective tackles, and they are 5 above the highest of the 15 to 17 average for 22. That is 34 bad tackles in the first half, with not many tackles made at 134. They are not even at 80%. That is pathetic numbers there from the Cowboys on an effective tackle percentage. Whilst the Broncos are at a brilliant number, 90.96 here, 161 tackles made for 12 missed tackles and 4 ineffective. Again, 15 to 17 is an average for missed tackles. They're at 12. That's 3 under it. And the ineffective is 4. The average is 6-7. That's 2 under it. So 16 bad tackles in the first half compared to the 34 bad tackles with the Cowboys in the first half. How is this game at 22-18 Broncos? How is this not a domination for the Broncos where they're winning by 40? Because every single stat metric is showing the Broncos should be up in this game by 20 to 30 points already, but they're not. It came down to the final siren for them to even take the lead in this game. Now you go to the negative play. This is the issue. Now, 6-7 is so the 4 and below. 4 and below is a great amount of errors. It's not bad. 5 to 6 is an average amount of errors, and then 7 and above is really bad. Both of these teams are at 8. It is 8 to the Cowboys, 8 to the Broncos. That is really bad ball handling here from both these teams. This is the first really negative stat we've had to look at with the Broncos. Outside of that, every other stat's been fantastic. That's an incredibly bad stat there for the Broncos. Cowboys, we're quite used to this with them. They make a lot of mistakes. They made 23 errors against the Knights, still scored 38 points. They've made 8 errors and a half and still got 18 points here to show for it. Same with the Broncos, but we're used to this with the Cowboys. The Broncos should not have 8 errors in this game. That's really bad from both those teams. But the penalties conceded is 2 for the Broncos and 1 for the Cowboys. The big thing that I'll say with the Broncos, though, is that for the most part of this year, they make a lot of errors and they can be quite ill-disciplined, and they'll still win games, which is not a good sign for the finals. It's really not a good sign when they actually make the finals and they're into the crunch of it. But the thing is with the Broncos is that they can have these kind of errors and still go on to win games, similar to what the Roosters were for a lot of this year as well. Broncos and Roosters were playing very similar footy for a long portion of this year, and this game is really kind of evidence of that they are making a lot of errors while still dominating the game and still leading 22-18. But it's not acceptable still. It doesn't mean it's okay to make all these errors and still win the game. Okay, yeah, you win the game, but when you come into the crunch of it, into the finals, that is not an acceptable amount of errors for a team in the finals to have. Again, the Cowboys, they're in 14th position. The Broncos, you're currently in 4th position with a win here. You need to limit those errors. It's just as simple as that. There's no argument behind it. If you're a Broncos fan, there's no way you could disagree with that. But the penalties conceded is 2-1 Broncos. That's not bad from either team. Ruck infringement is a 3-0 Broncos. A little bit ill-disciplined there from the Bronx. Inside 10 metres is 1-1. And then on reports is 1-0 Cowboys. And then sin bins is 1-0 Cowboys. So ultimately, you look across all these stats here at halftime and you say, how on earth is this a close game? The Broncos are dominating in regards to the defense. They're same in regards to errors. They've given away probably a bit more ill-disciplined penalties and whatnot. But the Cowboys have also been sin binned in this game. They've had a forced dropout. They've had more offloads. Their play the ball speeds faster. Their average set distance is a whopping 16, 17 metres above the Cowboys. They've had more tackle breaks. They've had more line breaks. They've had better post-contact meters. They've dominated the run meters department with 9 less runs. They've got a better completion rate. and they're still only up by 22-18. The Broncos should win this game by 40 points if they keep this up. But for some reason, just something hasn't clicked defensively, and the Cowboys have still been able to piece them apart and actually led 18-12 with 5 minutes to go this game in the first half. So long second half to come up here. Big second half. Broncos, you're not home and hosed yet. Sharks fans, they're waiting on bated breath for this result. Same with the Warriors, because the Broncos lose, they more than likely go to 6th with the Sharks win tomorrow, and the Warriors would go to 5th. But if the Broncos and Sharks both win, the Warriors go to 6th. So there's 3 teams here this is really, really impactful for right now. And the Broncos, you just need to win to go to 4th, but if you lose, you probably end up in 6th. I cannot see you finishing in 5th because I do have the Sharks to beat the Knights tomorrow. Training said this, if you watch the Broncos all year, they mostly play so good in the second. You're a Broncos fan, that's a guarantee. I watch every single game here, man. I'm very well aware how teams play, but I can guarantee from a comment like that, you're definitely a Broncos fan because they've been up and down in second halves, but they definitely can have some really good second halves as well. They can absolutely have some really good second halves, but there's also been plenty of games where they haven't been fantastic in the second half. The Broncos are a kind of half team, where sometimes they can have a great first half and a not good second half, and sometimes they can have a bad first half and then a great second half. I wouldn't necessarily label them as that, because if anything, the Cowboys also are very similar in that terminology with the second half. The Raiders are a very good second half team as well. There's quite a few teams actually with that second half thought process. The Broncos, from a Broncos fan's thought process and ideology, I'm sure you think you're the best second half team in the comp, but that would be definitely the Raiders. The Broncos can get it going in the second half, but we've just seen them have a very good first half and still give up 18 points here, which is a concern. But they should still go on with the win here. They should go on with it, but there's no guarantee here by any stretch of the imagination. There's no guarantee, because it shouldn't be as close as it is with those stats. Alpha says, one twerk, it was one try. Let's go Bronx Nation. Not going to be twerking. Don't know what that's about. Angus says, Mariner and Katapani developing well. Think they have a bright future. That's great. I agree. But what does Grant Anderson do next year? What does Grant Anderson do? Because you've signed Grant Anderson. Does he come into the centres? Because you've got Dan Mariner and Josiah Katapani, and you've also got your centres of Katoni Staggs and Gehamat Shibasaki. But then again, you might be losing Shibasaki, so maybe you do chuck Grant Anderson into the centres there. But obviously, normally he's a winger. But I think he did play centre last night for the Storm with all their players out. Maybe you do chuck him into the centres if you do lose Gehamat Shibasaki due to contract salary cap obligations and whatnot. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Shibasaki there. It'll be interesting. Ollie says, who's playing off this game? Sleep time is after this game. Gary, this is such an international stream. What do you mean? Jack says, no, we can't. It's illegal. Elijah says, love it. Madge, rip into these idiots. Oh, is he ripping into him, is he? Madge is absolutely filthy. Love it. No, that's good, Elijah. No, that's good to see, because like Broncos fans, a lot of people will look at this and go, well, it's 22-18. How are you ripping into them? You know, the Broncos are playing well here, 22 points. Not necessarily. If you know the game of rugby league, you know they should be up by a lot more than this. They shouldn't be giving up 18 points to this Cowboys team right now. With those stats, again, I will re-emphasize and reiterate, they are dominating in regards to the run meters. They are dominating in regards to the post-contact. They've got way more line breaks. They've got a better completion rate. They've got a better defensive effective tackle percentage. They're a better collective defensive team right now. Yes, they've had the same amount of errors and they're giving away a few more penalties, but ultimately, this game should not be this close. It should not be this close. Jack says, agree, I've been yelling out every time they make an error. Angus says, enjoy watching Mariner and Katapani the last few weeks, developing well. We already read that comment, but sure. Dazmate says, love the second half the Raiders had against the Dogs. Thank you, Daz. One game doesn't define the team. Because if one game defines a team, well, then I'll just refer to both Broncos games the Bulldogs have played. Sean says, halftime beer run. Gary says, it is good fun watching the stream, mate. Are you Australian, Sean? Yeah, he's an Aussie all the way in Thailand, mate. He's in Thailand. Dazmate says, Chelsea are pumping Fulham next, mate. Yeah, good stuff. Olivia says, let's watch the back of your eyelids. What? What's happening? So Broncos and Cowboys are out here for the second half, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Let's get to the horny hunch. Let's get to the horny hunch of likes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Horny Hunch with likes is on. We want to see 100 by the end of the stream. And don't forget, we'll be live for both games tomorrow, which is the Cronulla Sharks taking on the Newcastle Knights in a big game there for both teams, and also the Gold Coast Titans travelling to the Redcliffe Dolphins in a big game there for both teams. Elijah says this is to get the top 4. Come on. And it's not to guarantee top 4, but it's to put you into a good position. The Cowboys get this ball off to the Broncos, and they'll get this ball at the in goal off to Payne Haas. I don't know why the Cowboys keep kicking this ball to Payne Haas' side. And the Broncos get this ball at the 15 on first tackle. The Broncos would go to the top 4, but the Sharks probably beat the Knights tomorrow. They'll both be equal next week, and then I think the Bulldogs rest all their players. I don't know what the Storm do. The Broncos would still need to beat the Storm, because I do have the Sharks beating a depleted Bulldogs team next week, personally. All right, let's get horny. Yeah, the horny hunch, Daz, mate. Horny hunch worth of likes. And now Reece Walsh, fourth tackle, gets his ball to the 40. Brisbane makes top 6. I'm twerking live. Yeah, we're not going to be watching that stream, that's for sure. Broncos get this ball to the 50 on fifth tackle. Broncos are pretty much guaranteed top 6, mate. They're pretty much guaranteed it. Unless they lost both. Well, if they lose this game, then maybe not, actually. There is still a chance of them coming 7th. The Panthers beat the Dragons next week. And the Broncos lose both their remaining games because the Panthers are on 31, the Broncos are on 32, and the Sharks will definitely win at least one of their last 2 games. Second tackle now, Semi Valame at the 25. Mr. Mikio says, go to the Broncos, one more try. They're going to need a little bit more than one more try to win this game. They're going to need maybe 2, 3. It's a penalty to the Cowboys. Penalty to the Cowboys at 33. Who cracks first? It is the Brisbane Broncos. The Cowboys will get a penalty. Brenton says twerking live on this channel. Definitely not going to be twerking live on this channel, Brenton. Not this channel. No, not this channel. Not this channel. Mitchell says, I'll pay a lot of money to not watch that. Yeah, well, you can donate here, Mitchell. You can donate here for that. And I'll make sure it doesn't happen on this channel. So Cowboys at the 45, now to the 35. It's going to be first tackle, and they're going to get the first attack of this second half. They were up 18-12 with 5 minutes to go, but just kind of threw away a late couple of tries to the Broncos with a bit of a miracle play from Brisbane right on half-time. Thomas McKaylee has run the ball hard today. He gets his ball to the 30, second tackle. And now Harrison Edwards. He'll get this ball to the 20. It is Harrison Edwards. Yeah, it is Harrison Edwards. I always get confused. Oh, it's going to be a 4 pass here for the Cowboys, and that was stupid. And that was stupid. So 4 passes on the Cowboys and a couple of mistakes here. Early doors from both teams. Oh, Brenton's going to be back in 5 minutes. I think Brenton wants to go for a beer break. That's, I think, what he wants. I think that's what he wants. Well, I'll help you out there, Brenton. I'll help you out, mate. Enjoy the beer. Enjoy the beer. So the Broncos get this ball at their own 20. Gary says, the Cowboy number 17 is a beast. Is he any good? That's Thomas McKaylee. That's who I was just giving a good rap to. He's had a bit of a struggle career. He was at the Titans for a bit, couldn't really get a crack there, and then he's been at the Cowboys for a while and hasn't really been able to stamp his ground too much, but now he really has been this back end of the season, and this year he's been involved quite a lot more, which has been good to see from him. So, look, I'd love to see him kick on with it, but he's been really good today. He's run this ball strong today, and this back half of the year has been good. Mitchell with the $10 redo donation. Get around your Mitchell says, please don't Alpha. Well, I'll make sure that Alpha does not twerk on this stream and not on this channel if the Broncos do make the top 6. Thank you very much, Mitchell, for the $10 redo donation. Tigers legend Thomas McKaylee. Yeah, also played for the Tigers. I think a lot of people forget that, inclusive of myself sometimes. Scott Drinkwater gets this ball to the 10 on first tackle. Peter says, Broncos are playing with second string of players. I'm still proud. Oh, don't give me this shit. No, Peter, don't give me this shit. Like, sure, yes, they've got players out, but they're also 4th place, 5th place going up against a bottom 4 team right now. Like, yes, sure, like, but they're also going up against lower ranked opposition. If they were doing this against a team like the Bulldogs or the Storm or the Raiders with their team in, like, I'd be like, yeah, shit, yeah. But it's like they need to do better in this game. I know they're winning 22-18 right now, but this score shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be this. The Broncos should be up by a lot more. Jake Clifford gives his ball to Drinkwater. Drinkwater at the 30. He'll go himself to the 25. He gets the ball offload to Reuben Cotter. And Reuben Cotter now, he'll get this ball to the 15. They're making too many metres here, the Cowboys. Leads Brisbane to 4th. Technically right now, but if they didn't win this game, they wouldn't be. They kick this ball through, and it's going to be Reece Walsh who grabs the ball, and he'll be taken down here at the 10. The reason why I say don't give me that shit is because it's a big coping excuse here whilst the Broncos are up to claim the only reason, like, to claim that. It's like basically alluding to, even if they lose, they'll still be happy. And it's like, no, you shouldn't be happy losing to the Cowboys in this game. No. Dasmate says, reminds me of another Tigers legend and Lockie Galvin. Wow, Dasmate, you're going to do Mitchell like that. 4th tackle here at the 50, 5 minutes into the second half. All right, so Ben Hunt at the 50, then off to Jordan Ricky, and Ricky will be at the 48. 5th tackle, off to Ben Hunt, and he'll kick this ball, hits the grass. Where's the bounce going to go here for Drinkwater? He gets crunched out of the 10. So first tackle here for the Cows, 10 metres out. Tom Dearden, he'll go to Semi Valame, and Valame will get this ball to the 15 on second tackle. Second tackle, Tom Dearden gives it across to Braden Burns. And Burns, now third tackle at 24. Not as many metres on this set for the Cowboys as they have in the previous sets. And Tom Dearden, he'll go out to the left to Jeremiah Nene. He'll push away from one, and they're still only at the 30 on fourth tackle. This hasn't been a great set by any means. Reece Robson after Thomas McHale, and he'll get the ball now to the 40 on fifth tackle. Very close with 6 again. They're very lucky. Jake Clifford, he'll just kick this one. Pretty basic kick just to the 5. Actually, decent kick in the end. Wasn't going for the 40-20. And now that'll be Dean Mariner taken down to the 18. First tackle. 34 minutes to go to the game. Very close game here. Reece Walsh to Staggs. Staggs to the 25. Second tackle. Alpha Kappa says, I won't make any promises. Yeah, well, I can give you a promise. And that promise is that you will not be twerking here, son. Third tackle now at the 28. Yeah, Nene is really struggling to make any metres overall. And, Shibasaki had a bit of an offload there, waiting for him, but he just couldn't get the right pass. So Broncos at the 40, off to Reece Walsh. Intercept by Semi Valame at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. It's a try time for the Cowboys! Wow, Valame picking that out of the air was huge. Wow, Valame picking that out of the air is absolutely huge. I thought it was going to be a knock-on. He just gets a tip up to it. It stays up in the air. Valame regathers the ball and will score to make it a 22-22 ball game with a kick to come. And Reece Walsh, like I say, he has his ups and he has his downs. That's a down. He's had his ups in the first half. He's also had his downs. But this game is now rocketing back at a tight score with a potential chance here for the Cowboys to take the lead. Valame gets the try here. And they start singing Sweet Caroline in the stadium. And I tell you what, Broncos fans, like, if you win this game, you win this game. But with the stats, you should be up by a lot. And you might be down. That's a great read by Semi Valame. Really good read, Gary. Reese's Pieces, unfortunately. Poor pass there. But he does need to be the game player. He needs to be the guy to set this game apart. It's a bad mistake there. Mitchell says, look what happens when he doesn't throw it forward. Semi Valame to Fiji and fly. Bit of Tosso Vitti action. Bit of Tosso Vitti action there. Vinaka Vakalevu with the try right next to the post. Well, not right next to the post, but close enough to make this surely a kick here for Scotty Drinkwater. Seb Watson says, whoever gets show ponies in 8 basically gets a bite. Oh, jeez. 24-22 to the Cows with 32 minutes to go in the game. Well, right now, Broncos, you are in 5th position. Sharks with a win tomorrow would put you to 6th position. And you are playing into the Sharks' hands right now if you do lose this game. There would still be a brief chance if you're making top 4, but Warriors fans, you are cheering right now. Because if the Cowboys win and the Knights win, then you would stay in the top 4. There's no way someone doesn't punish the Warriors for their loss. There's no way. Sharks going to lose. Have you watched the Newcastle Knights in any game this year, Highlanders? I can guarantee you right now, even the Knights players' mums wouldn't be believing in their team right now. And mums always believe in their sons. I don't even think they'd believe in the Knights right now. So the Cowboys, they're going to be at the 20. They get it across here to Thomas McHale. How good has he been today? How good has he been? At the 25, they roll it back to Reece Robson. Nene knocks it on. And they've actually... They're going to say it's going to be Broncos ball here. 0 tackle at the 42. Why, though? I'd allow the Broncos to have the ball at the 30. So now it's going to be first tackle at the 30. What was the point of that tackle there, referee? Ashley Klein, come on. That absolutely should have just been Broncos ball at the 30 starting their set. There was a pointless run for Tony Staggs just then. Brian says, wow, this game is becoming one of the best of the best. It's a very good game in regards to tension and closeness. Quality-wise, there's been a lot better games this year. There's a lot of errors in this game. A lot of errors. But it's still a very close game and an exciting game for that reason. But there's still... Oh, that's a good pass there from Reece Walsh. And he makes it up and gives it to how much Shibasaki for a try. I've got to be honest with you. Like, this game is very close. Best of the best, though. Like, the defense in this game has been absolutely putrid. It's a crazy game because it's so back and forth, back and forth. The Cowboys make a mistake. The Broncos score. Reece Walsh makes a good try assist there, which is fantastic. But he also made that mistake. So he makes up for it. This game is all over the shop. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's going to happen in this game. You just don't know what's going to happen. Who you tipping to win? Well, you'd have to assume the Broncos win. They've dominated the stats. They're the team in 5th place. They're now back up to 4th place. The Cowboys are in the bottom 4. There's no excuse. I know the Broncos have injuries, but they're scoring points at will. Some of the Cowboys, defense is about structures that shouldn't matter who's necessarily playing. Whilst attack is, I'm surprised they're playing as well as they are attacking wise, considering they're without Ezra Mem and Adam Reynolds. But it's just really, I don't know who to call in this game. Both teams have had 10 errors in this game. And that's why I'm saying, best of the best. That Bulldogs-Panthers game had a great deal of quality in it. Panthers versus Raiders was absolutely fantastic. Storm versus Panthers was also absolutely fantastic. Titans-Panthers was absolutely fantastic. A lot of Panthers games have been really good lately. The only issue with this game is there's so many errors. So many errors. Again, Broncos led 12-0, then the Cowboys led 18-12, and then the Broncos led 22-18 at halftime, and then the Cowboys now led 24-22, and then the Broncos now lead 26-24, and they will miss the kick. So we'll say a 2-point game. Reece Walsh missed the kick. 30 minutes to go here at the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 30 minutes to go. Reece Walsh misses the kick and keeps the 2-point lead rather than a 4-point lead. And Drinkwater can kick a 2-point field goal. Way too early to be talking about that, but he can kick a 2-point field goal. Who could kick a 2-point field goal for the Broncos? Does Ben Hunt have the distance in him? I don't know. Brenton says round of upsets besides Raiders. No. Bulldogs won. That's not an upset over the Panthers in that game when the Bulldogs had the full-strength team and the Panthers had all their players out. Raiders were the favourites. Manly were my favourites. They were $1.90, so either team was favourite and either team was upset, but I would say that I had Manly as clear favourites for mine. Eels were definitely an underdog against the Warriors, though, so I'll give you that. And the Cowboys were the massive underdogs here. So Broncos' second tackle, now Payne Haas. He'll get this ball to the 30. Good run, third tackle. Dazmate says Payne Haas. Adash Singe says, why you put us Titans number 1 when Raiders are leading, buddy? No, that's incorrect, mate. If you look at the NRL, if you watch the games this year, the Titans haven't lost a single game all season, and they're very well deserving of the minor premiership up here, mate. So you've got to start clicking on, mate. You've got to start really using the old noggin, and unfortunately, you haven't used that just yet. So that's a bit of a you problem, not a me problem, and unfortunately, you're going to have to really start clicking on, mate. You're going to have to really start clicking on. Semi Valamate, second tackle. He's going to beat the 24. Second tackle. Willie says, you're a legend, saving me missing out on the footy. I'm in Italy and KO doesn't work. Appreciate you, man. We're live for every single game here on the channel, mate. So we appreciate you for tuning in. Third tackle now for the Cowboys at the 35. And it'll be Jackson Purdue to the 40 on fourth tackle. Brenton says, Russo Storm. There's an upset. Were they underdogs despite the outs? I don't know. I don't get to see the odds here in Vietnam. I don't get to see the odds. All right, so Jake Clifford kicks that ball up. That's a bit of a tough one here for the Broncos, but they do grab it through Dean Mariner, and he'll be taken down here at the 25. Really good grab there. Brent says, I believe so. Very correct, mate. Exactly right. Gary says, because Blaze a diehard Titans fan. Nah, mate, no. Don't know what you're talking about. I'm very neutral and unbiased here. Third tackle for the Broncos at the 40. Third tackle. Someone says, Aryan, like I said, this isn't Google. Go ask them. Yeah, this isn't Google, this. Might be a bit of Chandler Bing, but it's not Google. Fourth tackle here at the halfway point for the Broncos. Katapani, and now it's Paddy Carrigan to the 42 on fifth tackle for the Bronx. Been a bit of a weird second half where both teams have scored, both teams have made mistakes. There's not a great deal of threatening outside of just the breakaway plays, and Scott Drinkwater will get this ball to the 12 on first tackle. It's like nothing happens and then something just breaks away from an error or a penalty or something like that, and one team just decides that it's time to spice it up a bit. And Tamalolo's come back onto the field for the Cowboys. He's been running the ball hard. Yeah, thank you, Jake. Third tackle here at the 25. Drinkwater, Jackson Purgey. A little bit of a lull in the game at the moment. And he gets the offload away to Drinkwater. Drinkwater here. Great pass across to Harrison Edwards. He can't get the offload away, though, at the 45. Great little spicy play there, however. Robson off to Tom Dearden. Tom Dearden goes at himself. Then he gives it across here to Zach Labert, who will be at the 43. A couple of threatening plays there from the Cowboys. Robson to Drinkwater. And Drinkwater puts that one up. Good chase through here from the Cowboys. However, Broncos grab it through Reece Welsh, though. He'll get the offload away, and then they lose the ball. Reece, you can't be passing that ball, Reese. You cannot pass that ball in that situation, Reese. Be smarter, Reese. Be smarter. Come on, Reese. You got to be smarter than that, dude. There's no purpose to passing this ball and they knock this ball on. There is no purpose to passing this ball, Reese Walsh. Oh, dude, get how much Ibisaki knocks that ball on, but I got to blame Reese Walsh. Just go down with the ball there, man. You don't need to come up with a big play every single time. You are the man here for this team, but you don't need to be the man every single play. Cowboys now go on the attack 15 metres out. FKM is glad you're doing these streams, mate. Can mute the TV and not listen to Mick Ennis. Mick Ennis is a punish, especially when Panthers games are on. Zach Laybott is 18 metres out here from the line. And Sammy Valame gives it across here to Dearden. 72% completion rate for the Cowboys. 68% completion rate for the Broncos. And that's why all eyes on him, Sean James. You're absolutely right. Second tackle here for the Cowboys. Robson off to Jason Taumalolo. And Taumalolo, he'll get this ball inside the attack and 10. 8 metres away. Third tackle. Broncos, can you hold him out here? Robson gives it to Tom Dearden. Tom Dearden at the back net of Drinkwater. Drinkwater at the back again. Zach Laybott. 9 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. And now Drinkwater goes quick short side. He will be 3 metres out from the line. Fifth tackle. Fifth tackle, John Bateman. He'll get it across to Tom Dearden. Tom Dearden kicks this ball. It's an awkward one. Jake Clifford then throws it back. Jason Taumalolo here. Taumalolo flicks the ball out the back. It's at the 25. Jake Clifford gets away from one. Tom Dearden. Dearden gets away from Billy Walters. Billy Walters back underneath here to Zach Laybott. Laybott kicks this ball through here. And Reece Walsh will pick it up. And then he'll get away from one. And he will be at the 15. Just take the tackle, Reece. Jeez, that was all over the shop. Nice work there from Reece. Jeez, he's been the most polarising player today. So good and so bad. But sometimes he comes up with a great play like that. But jeez, he can have some bad moments too. Second tackle here for the Broncos at the 22. And it's Katoni Staggs. He'll be at the 30. Again, only a 2-point game here. And they've called knock on from Katoni Staggs. I guess he's going to challenge this. They are going to challenge this. Staggs is claiming a strip. He might have given himself away here. He might have given himself away. He actually called strip before. It's going to be interesting to see. He has called a knock on here. Ashley Klein has called a knock on. So the Broncos will challenge it. Cowboys don't have a challenge. I don't know if you can say he's stripping the ball here. Yeah, no, this is just a knock on. This is a Cowboys ball at 30. Both teams have no challenge. Yeah, he is just making a tackle there, Reece Robson. He's not even looking at it. It's probably clever from Reece Robson. He probably does know what he's doing. But they will say challenge unsuccessful, and no team has the challenge left. The Cowboys will go back onto the attack 30 metres out from the line. Lagan says Bronx are really needed Jock Madden right now. We really need to stop talking. So the Cowboys 30 metres out. Tom Dearden to put this ball into the scrum. Sundo getting around the Cows. And Lawton gets it across here to Jake Clifford. Clifford, he'll be 30 metres away on first tackle. Can the Broncos hold him out? The Cowboys are getting a bit more of the ball possession, the field position in these last few moments, that's for sure. Second tackle now 23 metres away. Carl Lawton off to Jason Taumalolo. Taumalolo to Tom Dearden. Dearden across to John Bateman. And John Bateman's going to be 15 metres away, 13 metres away. Third tackle. Third tackle, yeah, 29 more likes. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button yet, do it. Let's get to the horny hunch. Jason Taumalolo, fourth tackle at the 30. Here they come. Carl Lawton gives it off to Jake Clifford. Clifford at the back of the Drinkwater. Kicks this ball through. I don't know what's happened here. They've said Broncos ball at the 5. I thought there was a knock on both ways there, to be fair, but they've just said it's fine. And Katoni Staggs will now be second tackle at the 13. Not a great kick there. Peter says they've got to get Ben Hunt to kick the next lot of kicks. It's not Walsh's night. Yes and no, though, because like at the end of the day, yeah, you might have an awful play from Reece Walsh, but you can also come up with a try assist. Like, that's why it's so hard, because he makes so many big plays, but he makes so many bad plays too that puts his team under pressure. So it's like you can't take the kicks away from him, because it's not like it's not his night. It's just sometimes his night and sometimes not his night. And Reece Walsh here, like that, right there. And get how much of a target. This is a try for the Broncos for sure. This is a try for the Broncos for sure. Oh, that's a forward pass. That's a forward pass. Excuse me? Excuse me, referee? Ashley Klein, you've missed a 5-metre forward pass there, Ashley Klein. No, I'm sorry, Ashley Klein. You've missed a 5-metre forward pass there. Come on, Ashley Klein. Oh, Ashley Klein, you just know how to ruin a game, eh? Oh, that's a 5-metre forward pass you've missed, Ashley Klein. Fuck me. Oh, you're useless, Ashley Klein. Like, it's a great try from the Bronx if the pass was fine. Watch the pass here from Gerhard Shibasaki, dude. Oh, bro. Come on, mate. Ashley Klein, you are out of control calling this as a try. Oh, there's no benefit of the doubt here, Michael Ennis. That is a god-awful call, dude. Like, and in such a critical moment. Oh, you are a pathetic Ashley Klein. You always make the games about yourself, mate. We've had a fantastic game here. We've had such a fantastic game, and we go and see a call like that, which makes it 30-24 to the Broncos. And it's like Shibasaki throws this ball forward 5 meters, dude. Like, it's never even backwards out of the hands. For fuck's sake, Ashley Klein. Oh, dude, why do officials have... Oh, my gosh, why are they so inept, dude? Why are they so inept? How do you get this wrong? You've got touchies and a referee, dude. Oh, that's pathetic, man. It's not a hard call. Oh my gosh. Like, everyone's complaining about it. The commentary's talking about it. You can hear the crowd going up. I'm going up. The comments are going up. Olivia Reed's a Broncos fan. She's saying such a bad call. Like, it's pathetic. It really is. Ashley Klein. And this is the thing. Like, he has a great refereeing performance for the Panthers versus Storm game a couple of weeks ago. And then he goes and does this. And now it's an 8-point... It's a now 8-point game with the Broncos, and it's like, well, the Cowboys have to have a miracle for them to come back in this game from 8 points down. It should have been a 2-point game. You can clearly see Shibasaki throws this ball forward. It never comes backwards out of the hand. Ashley Klein, you are a hopeless referee. You are absolutely hopeless. Scott James says that's 5 minutes forward. Anyone with a brain, anyone with eyes can see how forward that pass is. Look at Todd Payton complaining. You know, like, dead set. Dead set, dude. Dead set. Adashin says, cry. Well, that's great, mate. But at the end of the day, the Broncos might get done by a call here. I don't care. My team's not in the battle of these two teams. Like, at the end of the day, I just want a good game. What I want is to watch a game that is not adjudicated by a bad refereeing call. What I want to see is a game where either the Broncos win fairly or the Cowboys win fairly. I don't care who wins this game. I just want to see the team who wins it win it fairly. Because I guarantee you that you're going to cry like a little bitch when the Broncos get a forward pass against them and it doesn't get picked up. Because that's how rugby league works, because the officials are inept and the officials are not good enough for the job that we have. They have absolutely destroyed the competitiveness of this game, and it'll take a miracle for the Cowboys to get back into this game when they are the team down there in the bottom half of the table. You know, just have a little bit of semblance of respect about the game and understand that it's not crying because the team, the Broncos, is winning. It's getting frustrated and angry because we see this way too much that we can't enjoy a game for its merit because the game's merit gets taken away by an idiot in the middle. And the only person who doesn't see the forward pass is the one person who is in control of the forward pass. That's why we criticize it. We don't give a shit about who's winning. That's why we criticize it. Second tackle here for the Cowboys, and they're at the 20. And Dearden gives it off here to Zach Laybutt, and he'll get this ball to the 25. Leon says they've gotten away with 12 points, and there's an injury here for the Cowboys. God bless him. I hope he's all right. 20 minutes to go here in the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It's just so disappointing that we have to talk about this again. It really is. Panthers since 2003, so I don't understand how people praise Klein as the number one ref. Well, he was very good for that Panthers versus Storm game. It was very positive in that game, but like, you can't get past a call like that in such a critical time of the game when it's only 2 points. You just can't. Scott James says NRL will say it went backwards out of the hands, but no, it didn't though. Like, you can see it. No, it didn't. There is no argument. No, the ball didn't go backwards out of the hands, and the ball didn't go backwards at any stage. So the Broncos now will be taken down here at the 15. 32-24 is the score with 19 minutes to go of the game. Mitchell Wood, member for 25 months, says, can we go on strike until the refs fix their shit? They just won't, though. There's no accountability, mate. There really isn't. Tasman says, not going to forget, the Broncos also had the biggest loss in finals history, 58-0. I was at that game. Yeah. Third tackle, and Dean Mariner now brings his ball out of the 35. It just saps everything out of it. How good was the game before that moment? You know, like... and now the Broncos will get this ball to the 45 on fifth tackle. Someone says, we'll swap Klein for Liam Moore. No, he's just as bad. He's worse, Liam Moore. He's worse than Ashley Klein. At least Ashley Klein does have a good game in him. And now Scott Drinkwater, he's going to bring this ball to the 10. He gets around from a couple, and he gets to the 12. Jim and Masters, would everyone complain if video ref could call on forward passes? People are going to complain no matter what. This is the issue. But the thing is that it's blatant calls like that can get picked up, because you can't blame the bunker for that, because the bunker can't call forward passes, obviously. So I think that people are going to complain regardless about 50-50 calls. The NRL have to ignore that. But it's blatant calls like that. Like, that wasn't a debate. Right, so there's blatant calls like that need to be adjudicated on, and there's no way that the video ref wouldn't have called that as a forward pass if they were able to adjudicate on it. Scott Drinkwater, he'll go to the right-hand side. He'll be 40 metres out from the line, fit tackle. Sean James says, back in the day, there would be a punch on because of that between the player. F the ref, it's a blatant bullshit. Leon says, hope these flogs get knocked out first week. Well, at the end of the day, this is going to be Broncos apparently knocking the ball backwards. Anyway, at the end of the day, it's not the Broncos' fault. You don't blame the Broncos for that inept call from Ashley Klein to the touchies. You blame the inept call from the touchies and the referee. You can't blame... Like, I know people are going to dislike the Broncos anyway, but you can't blame the Broncos for it. Like, that's a bad pass. Broncos get this ball to the 25-30 on third tackle. 17 minutes to go here of the game. Yeah, I'm not here sitting angry at the Broncos. I'm here sitting angry at the referees, because we see this every week. You see it every week. The ref can make you hate any team. Yeah, valid. That does happen. Paddy Carrigan here. He'll get this ball. Offload out the back here to Payne Haas. And now Payne Haas is going to bring this ball here to the 45. And good run there from Payne. You know that's coming. And he'll offload the ball out the back. And it's going to be Reece Welsh here. And that's a knock-on from the Broncos. Reece, come on. Come on, just take the tackle, Reece. Scott says, so would Warriors play Panthers in New Zealand if the latter stays the same? If the latter stays the same, the Panthers would be currently playing the Sharks in Cronulla. Well, not in Cronulla, at Accor Stadium. Might be actually in Cronulla. No, it would be in Cronulla. The Sharks would play host to the Panthers in Cronulla, but if the Sharks beat the Knights tomorrow, then they would be playing the New Zealand Warriors in New Zealand, yes. The Broncos, if they win this game, then they will go up into the fourth position. Obviously, the game's not over yet, but Ashley Klein is an absolute clown. So you never have any faith that this game is going to be adjudicated with any kind of confidence. And if Peyton wants to speak up about it post-match, he'll come and fine this organisation as such pussies. It's not the organisation, mate. It's the NRL. That's a penalty to the Cowboys here at 35. Des Hasler got absolutely whipped by the NRL. They're going to take a quick tap here. It's got Drinkwater. He gets away from one. He gets away from a couple. And he'll get this ball to the 42 on first tackle. On the Broncos side of the field, they roll it back now to Carl Lawton. It's not the Cowboys organisation that's the problem. It's the NRL, because the NRL say that the coaches are not allowed to comment about it. It brings in the game to disrepute, and it's like, yeah, that's because you don't want to be held accountable for your bullshit. So Ruben Cotton out the 24. He'll roll it back here to Carl Lawton. Lawton gets it across to Jason Tamalolo, and Jason Tamalolo is going to be 15 metres away from the line. Fourth tackle. Fourth tackle. They roll it back to Carl Lawton. Carl Lawton off to Jordan McLean. And McLean is going to be 7 metres away from the line. Fifth tackle. Can the Cowboys work their way back into the game, which actually would have taken the lead? Tom Dearden. He'll go at the back into Drinkwater. Drinkwater puts that ball up into the corner. Cowboys. Zach Labert catches it. Broncos get the ball after the throwback, and it'll be Broncos ball at the 9. Dasmate says the coaches players can't abuse anyone, and it's a penalty to the Broncos. Yeah, suck them off some more, Ashley Klein. So coaches players can't abuse anyone, but the journos can. Yeah, apparently, like no one's allowed to criticize this NRL organisation, and that is a big issue because it means that they're a dictatorship in regards to what you can and can't say, despite how legitimate what you can and can't say is. Because you get fined. You see the AFL actually did something similar with Dan Gorringe. Apparently put the middle finger up to a couple of people at the AFL celebrity match game thing the other day, and they tried to fine him $15,000, and he was like, no, I'm not paying shit. First tackle now for the Broncos at the 40. ML says the referee will win this game for the Broncos. Terrible refereeing. Well, it's just such a terrible call and such a key part of the game. And that's a bad play the ball from the Broncos. Yeah, you weren't to your feet, Katoni, Brad Piakura, and it will be Cowboys ball at the 45, and they can't challenge it either at the Broncos. He's complaining about it, but this call has been made all year, where you have to get up, you have to play the ball correctly, and unfortunately, based off of the rules, he's off balance, and that's what they call. Peter says the referees can break your hearts or win you games. Absolutely, but that doesn't justify it. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, the referees can win you games, and the referees can cost you games, but it doesn't justify it. The wins don't justify the losses. At the end of the day, I wish that the wins and the losses didn't have to be adjudicated by the referees. So left-hand side to Jordan McLean. It'll be second tackle here at the 35. Tyler says, it's a shame too as a Broncos fan because everyone will rightfully say it wasn't a fair game. I'd prefer they actually call out errors. Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to win the game fair and square so you don't have to deal with people like myself talking or the comments talking or people on Twitter and Instagram and all the likes. You know, you don't want that. You want to win the game where people actually respect the result. Scott Drinkwater gives it to Zach Labart. Labart steps around a couple, and he's going to be 18 metres away from the line. 4th tackle for the Cowboys. And they roll it back into Carl Lawton. Lawton at the back into Jason Tamalolo. And Jason Tamalolo gets the ball to the 15. Offloads it out the back. Goes backwards. Tom Dearden with the ball. He's going to go it himself. He pushes away from a couple. He's still going. He gets the ball offloaded to Semi Valame. Valame will get it across into Zach Labart. Still 4th tackle. Off to Carl Lawton. Then to Drinkwater. Drinkwater to the 20. Off to Jake Clifford. He'll kick this ball through here. There's no one back. Jeremiah Nene with the try time and the game's on. Well, guess what, Ashley Klein? If you hadn't have made a balls-up call before, the Cowboys would actually take the lead here. But it is going to be 32-28 with a kick to come, and the Cowboys are going to be within 2 points here. Really disappointing that the fact is that the Cowboys would have taken the lead with this try, but at the end of the day, it is game back on. Jeremiah Nene does come through. It's a nice little kick through here by the Cowboys because all the Broncos had shifted to the left because the Cowboys had passed the ball out there and all the Broncos players were out there, which opened up the space. Reece Walsh is rightfully so out there. You can't really blame Reece Walsh here. He probably should have gotten across faster there. He's not running fast enough there. It actually was a 6 again for the Cowboys too, but they ended up kicking it because Reece Walsh is just slowly jogging back over there. And that's a really nice try there from Jeremiah Nene because he goes shoulder to shoulder with Katoni Staggs and bumps off him and then picks the ball up and puts it down. So it is going to be a 32, probably 30 game because the kicker's right next to the post. This is great shoulder to shoulder here from Jeremiah Nene and Katoni Staggs. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And really good put down considering he had it with the one hand. You've got to be really nervous about that. $7,500 fine for sticking the middle finger up 13 times. I think it was more, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 15K? I think it was 15K. Leon, this call should be the difference if Broncos, Sharks, or Wars make the top 4. Arguably so, yeah. But again, though, the Broncos still need to beat the Storm next week. All right, so 10 minutes, well, 11 minutes to go of the game, but basically 10 minutes to go of the game here, guys. Do me a favour, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Comment in the chat what your thoughts are. Who wins this game? The Cowboys, I'm sure, will get this kick to make it a 32-30 ball game. Very controversial in regards to the lead right now, but at the end of the day, there's still 10 minutes for the Cowboys to try and break the Broncos fans' hearts. Oh, that's right. They could go back and have a look at whether Carl Lawton knocked that ball on there. I don't think he does, though, because they would have called it already, probably. Because it is the same possession. They're still looking at this. They haven't confirmed the try yet. They haven't confirmed the try. Considering the forward pass, mate, I don't see there's anything wrong with that, but it should be just try confirmed. No, there's fine there. Like, it's fine. It's a Cowboys try. Wait, that was the fullback. Seb Watson, Reece Walsh was out of the left-hand side because the Cowboys had pushed out to the right-hand edge. This should be just try confirmed. I don't know why we're still looking here. Why are we still waiting? Oh, no. I'm sorry, but no. They're going to say knock on from Jeremiah Nene. Come on. Come on. No way. I'm sorry, but no. I'm sorry, but no. Oh, they've got to call this a no try. Oh, mate. The Cowboys have been slapped by the officials today. The Cowboys have been absolutely slapped by the officials today. So it's going to be a no try here, and the Broncos will get the ball at the 10. But anyway, 11 minutes to go, and they will say no try. Classic NRL dick riding, the richest club in rugby league. You've got to really be frustrated with how this game's been officiated. Tayona says, I hate both teams, so that's ridiculous. Well, the most ridiculous one was the forward pass. Oh, boy. Anyway, so it's going to be Broncos ball here at the 10. Dead set. Peter says, I love the game call. No wonder I don't go anywhere else. Thank you. Appreciate you, Peter. I wish I was able to give like a more just entertaining commentary based off of what we're watching in regards to the gameplay, but unfortunately we've got a bald idiot in the middle of the field and we've got a bunker with no clue. So it's going to be Broncos ball here at the 10. I just wish we could really focus on what's happening in the game and not on the idiots in the officials. FKM says, this has been a really unfortunate end to what's been a very entertaining game. Exactly right, dude. Exactly right. Second tackle now for the Broncos, and they're going to be at the 20. 12 minutes to go here of the game. Lagan says, Roosters realistically maul these nail painters. Roosters can be a bit 50-50 at times too, mate. Billy Walters will get this ball to the 50 on 4 tackle. Art of Limbs is fully killing the game with trash officiating. Well, you can clearly tell the difference, and that's going to be, I think, a knock-on here from the Cowboys at the 40s. The Broncos get the ball. Like, the game's been ruined for me in a lot of ways, man. Like, you can tell the difference between how I'm commentating before to how I'm commentating now. You're just like, this is bullshit. Tyler says, yeah, this just sucks, even as a Bronx fan. You know, and I apologise to you for that. You know, because at the end of the day, it's not on the Broncos here. These calls aren't on the Broncos. I don't disrespect or hate on the Broncos for it, but we've got idiots who are officiating this game, and then they're going to hold themselves no accountability. They're going to go out and they're going to say this and that to try and spin it, and they'll never give accountability to the referees, and we'll be here again next week, and we'll see a 2019 6 again call for the Raiders that screws them out of a potential premiership, and then we just move on to the next season and happy days. You know, that's just how it goes, because no one's allowed to call it out. I can do whatever the fuck I want here on this channel, but like I know that nobody in the NRL can call this out, and it's just so sad because there's no accountability, and it's so difficult to give the Broncos the full credit for this win when this happens. Third tackle here, 15 metres out, 10 minutes to go now the game. Thumbs up and subscribe. Payne Haas will bring this ball to the 10, to the 5, and he will score the try, and it's game over. But like you can't even celebrate it for him. You really can't. Because the game's gone. The game was over. The officials adjudicated this game. Jack Lewis is a whole YouTube thing on Ashley Klein blunders. Game's gone, dude. Seb Watson says, is the forward pass not more on the touchies, and that his job? Well, like, what do we know about touchies, Seb Watson? Because in the Raiders versus not the Raiders versus Tigers game, in the Manly versus the Dragons game, the touchy called the ball on the line as a try on the sideline, and Adam G completely ignored what his touchy said, went up to the bunker as a no try. The touchy called it as a try, mind you. Adam G was behind the play, couldn't see the ball. The touchy was able to visibly see the ball go over the line. Adam G said, don't give a shit. I'm going to go up as a no try to the bunker. Just assume that it's not a try, despite the touchy saying it was a try. And then the bunker said, inconclusive, can't overturn it. It's a no try. But if it had gone up as a try, like the touchy had said it was, it would have been a try. So what is the point of a touchy? Whether the touchy calls something or not, we don't get to hear about. The touchy has no relevance because the on-field referee, the main referee, can overtake him. And it's like, well, like, what's the point of a touchy then? And that's the issue. It was such a great game until the officials absolutely crucified this game. And now the Broncos, you're going to get top 4. You're going to get people all week long talking about the fact that you didn't deserve it, even though ultimately you were very good in parts and very bad in parts. But the Cowboys have lost this game on the back of absolutely abhorrent officiating. Abhorrent officiating. Oh, dude. Tyrone says, didn't even notice G ignoring the touchy. That's what I'm saying. Sean James, this is what is screwing up our game. How have we let this happen? Please don't let our game go work. I just really hope that it doesn't impact the finals, dude. Because at the end of the day, look, sorry Cowboys fans, you won't like what I'm about to say. But at the end of the day, who cares? The Broncos knock this ball on. Cowboys get the ball here at the 45. And John Bateman's going to bring this out. At the end of the day, who cares? The Cowboys lose. They're not playing for anything. That's going to be a high tackle here against the Broncos. The Cowboys get a penalty. At the end of the day, the Broncos are the only ones playing for anything, so it's no surprise that they're getting the cuckold here. It is no surprise the Broncos are getting the calls. But it's just like, I really hope this doesn't impact the finals. I really hope so. But definitely a high tackle there from the Broncos. Don't know why Billy Walters is telling John Bateman to calm down. Staggs comes across with a pretty clear high shot. All right, so Cowboys now. Whiskey says one more for the Broncos, 13 plus. Let's go. You didn't deserve it, but you are already up 13 plus anyway, but you didn't deserve it. First tackle now for the Cowboys. Tom Dearden at the 25. And now the Cowboys will get this ball to the 22. Second tackle. Aaron says, Queensland Derby, we do really care. Go Cowboys. That's not the point that I'm making, Aaron. It's not about the Cowboys here. It's about any team that's not fighting for a spot. That's why I'm saying that there's nothing being played for the Cowboys, so it's like you don't really care. And that's why the referees, I guess, the NRL feels like they can get away with a couple of debatable decisions. And left-hand side here, Braden Burns. He's the 15, the 10. He will get taken down 5 metres out for tackle. So Watson says, please stop celebrating tries before the stream, morons. Well, there is not a try yet. 38-24 here. But you're probably right, Seb. That's not on me. I haven't seen it. Jason Tamalolo, 13 metres out. Aaron says, don't really care. If you're having a crack at me, I don't really give a fuck, dude. Like, at the end of the day, I'm defending your team in a lot of ways. So Jackson Purge, you will get taken down to the 10s. If you don't care, then that's great. I don't care because I'm defending your team. So if you don't want me to do that, I can also tell you I do not care. I'm just trying to give you a view about what we're watching here. You're not forced to be here, Aaron. Sean James says, Seb, how you celebrate bullshit? Oh, the game's gone, lads. The game's gone. The game's gone. Second tackle now for the Broncos at the 22. Game's gone. And Corey Jensen. I'm going to pretty much light up my Instagram after this, guys. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's in the pinned comment. I'm going to post up on some stories about this game afterwards. CRX7's Broncos are good. Not in this game. Fourth tackle now at the 40. Broncos are a big media pool league, just crossing T's and dotting I's. You're not wrong, Chris Martin. Broncos fifth tackle here at the 50. Oh, dude, it's just so pathetic that we can't just enjoy rugby league. So Cowboys will get this ball at the 20, and Braden Burns brings it out here to the 30. Gets his ball here to the 30, and Jake Clifford, he'll give it off to Zach Labert. Jackson Purchase with the 35, second tackle. Logan says, you better give an uppercut in the story. No, I'll definitely say my piece. Uppercut says, the Bronx fan, I really wanted this to be a proper derby. NRL politics getting involved, it's just ruined the game. No more twerking from me at this point. No, absolutely, man. Like, we were all enjoying it. It was such a phenomenal game. We were enjoying the first 55, 60 minutes, and then that call gets made at a 2-point game, and it just completely derails all the good stuff. And then we've got that Jeremiah Nate try that was taken away too, and the Broncos score, and it's like it was a 2-point game that could have easily been a Cowboys lead, that a bad call gets made, Broncos take the ball over the sideline, Cowboys ball at 10, and it just takes all the enthusiasm out of it. It takes the enjoyment out of it. If the Broncos win this game fair and square, you sit there and you go, well done. You won the game, you're in the top 4, you deserve it. But you just sit back and you can't do that right now. Dasmate says, big 20 years on the premiership drought next year. Crazy for a club that gets everything added to them. So Cowboys now 10 metres out. Jason Tamalolo, he'll be 5 metres away from the line. 5 metres away. Laurie says, should have the NRL's most stupid referee of the year award. Goes to Jake Clifford. Goes now second tackle, 8 metres out. The game's over regardless. Cowboys can still come back. Not really, Nashawn. Like 5 minutes. Mathematically sure, but not really. If they do, it would be one of the greatest comebacks of all time. Sean Baton out the 10. Down 14 with 5 minutes to go. It would be the most horrific fall off of epic proportions if they came back from here. Braden Burns will score though, so it is 38-28 with a kick to come. So like there is time. You know, they'll still get time to score, but again, hard to celebrate it. So 38-28 here with a kick to come. Both teams giving up a lot of points here in this game. A lot of points. Jake Clifford, Jeremiah Nate, Jackson Purchase, and they score Braden Burns to the corner. Helmepo says, let's go Broncos. I wish I could give you a positive review, man. Wish I could. That was nice from John Bateman, though, to push away and get away from a couple and then get the pass away. ML says, dumbest referee in the NRL. Yeah, this game's got to cop a fair bit of criticism. But try confirmed. 5 minutes to go, and the Cowboys will nail it from the sideline. So it's going to be an 8-point game here. I guess if you get a converted try, and then you got a 2-point field goal opportunity to send it to extra time. They did score 3 tries in 5 minutes last week at Leichhardt against the Tigers. Well, you're going to need to do the same here. 8 points the difference. Oh, you don't want this to be decided by less than the try. You don't want to do it. But that's a nice kick there from Scotty Drinkwater. All right, 4 minutes 45 to go. The Cowboys will receive the ball here from the kickoff. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Something special is brewing. Hopefully, Sundo says. Well, hopefully we can see something here. Hopefully, we can see something here. Probably not Scott James in regards to the NFL. It's a bit of an awful time slot for me here. But we'll see. If the Cowboys had played like this in earlier season games, though, they could have easily... Oh, that's going out the full, is it? No, it's just a bad kick, but the Cowboys get the ball at the 5. They get this ball across. Drinkwater, Ruben Cotter, and at least that's a good hit there from Brendan Piakura on Cotter at the 10. So first tackle here for the Cowboys, and Carl Lawton, he'll go to Jordan McLean. Jordan McLean now will be at the 20 on second tackle, 4.5 minutes to go. Laurie says, think Broncos can get another touchdown to finish the game. Yeah, absolutely. Third tackle now for the Cowboys at the 30. They really know how to suck the life out of the game. It absolutely has. Like, we were so excited before. It was such a fun game to watch, and then they did suck the life out of the game. Scott Drinkwater now gets it off to Valame, and Valame at the 35, fourth tackle. They don't necessarily need to score this set, but they'd like to be into... Oh, geez, it's a bad pass there from Labour. And Jordan McLean, then he'll flick it across here to Drinkwater. John Bateman, he'll get that ball all the way across, and the Broncos actually will knock that ball on. So the Cowboys are going to get the ball at 24. And they'll get a fresh set of 6. Not a great set, though, from the Cows, though. Not a great set. Not a great set there from the Cows. Well, they're going to have to be their absolute best in this last 3 minutes 40 the Cows. They're going to go 80 metres to score. 80 metres to score, and then they would have to score again, but they just have to get within 2-point field goal range. So Jake Clifford at the 20 off to Tom Dearden. Dearden at the back into Drinkwater. He'll be at the 35. At least a good run there from Scott. The Shines is coming to Cowboys. Well, here's their chance. Dearden off to Ruben Cotter. And Cotter, he'll get this ball to about the 35 on second tackle. 3 minutes and 15 to go. I think this is their last set they can win the game from, because they would need to score twice, so they would need to score basically now. Third tackle now at the 44. Yeah, they do need an offloading game, and they do need a little bit of spruce in their step. They go right-hand side. Jason Tamamoto, Tom Dearden gets it off to Scott Drinkwater. Scott Drinkwater underneath here to Zach Labert and fourth tackle. This is not enough right now. If you got a penalty, like, you definitely go for the penalty at this point, or maybe you do think about a 2-point field goal here. Maybe you consider the 2-point field goal with 2 minutes 45 to go. They don't do it. They go to Jake Clifford, and he's just going to whack that ball up high. A bit of a torpedo here. But Reece Welch with a good grab, and he'll get this ball at the 20. And they're going to bring this ball out of the 25 to the 30 and get Hamad Shibasaki, and that's another forward pass. Oh, my God. Oh, you can't ride it, lads. Like, holy shit, can you call a forward pass in this game, lads? Can you call a forward pass in this game against the Broncos? Second tackle of the Broncos at the 30. It just is insanity they can't call forward passes against Brisbane. Patrick Carrigan now to Kobe Hetherington, and Hetherington can get this ball to the 20 on third tackle. 2 minutes to go of the game. Peterson's a Broncos fan, not convinced with this game, full of drama. It is full of drama, unfortunately. It is. So, Paddy Carrigan, short ball. They give it off to Jordan Ricky, and Ricky will actually get held up. This is actually well done, Cowboys, to hold him out there. Wow, that's good defense from the Cowboys. Your season's gone. You still show up to stop that try. He's actually held up, so he'll go back to the 10. Scott James says, refs looking the other way when Broncos throw a forward pass. You're not wrong. So Jordan Ricky here, minute 44 to go. Howler of a game by the refs, Tyona. Howler of a game. And Hetherington, it's another forward pass they've missed. Oh, my goodness. It's another forward pass they've missed. So Cowboys will get the ball here at the 5 with a minute and a half to go here. How do you do it? How do you do it when you watch every single game? How do you mentally cope with the inept officiating? First tackle now for the Cowboys at the 10. Adar Sinch says, why is this ref screwing around like? This is an idiot. Second tackle here at the 15. Last minute of the Cowboys season. They have a bye next week, so you won't see them again. Harsh of them to see this. Harsh of them to see their season finish with this this game. Cowboys get the ball here at the 30. They pass this ball across here to Tom Dearden. And Tom Dearden, he'll flick that ball out the back, and it's going to be forward tackle here at the 28. No, they just play it on. He definitely knocked it on there. Oh, the Cowboys knock it on. They don't call it. Like, you can't ride it, lads. You just can't ride it. You can't write this officiating. It's going to be Jackson Perdue. He gives the ball offloaded to Drinkwater. That's going to be a knock on, and Broncos get the ball, and this game's over. Well, lads, I hope we get to see a better game tomorrow. This was exciting until it was ruined by an idiot in the middle and the bunker. I hope we get to see a better game tomorrow. We've got Sharks versus the Knights, and we've got the Titans versus the Dolphins. Please, referees, whoever you are, don't get into the game. Please don't involve yourself in the game. It's so demoralising to watch this shit. And Katoni Staggs, he'll be second tackle at the 20. I wish I could have given you a better commentary, guys. I wish I really could have, but we've seen what we've seen. Second tackle now at the 18. And that, my friends, is Ben Hunt's going to pass it. Jordan Ricky, and he will be taken down on last play. David says, Cowboys been robbed by the ref in the bunker. You can make a very significant argument for it. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the game. 38-30 to the Broncos. I'm so sorry if you're an NRL fan to have to watch that shit because the officials just don't know what they're doing, mate. But the Broncos do win. They go into the top 4. Warriors, you'll drop into 5th. You'll be fuming right now. If you're a Sharks or a Warriors fan, you'd be absolutely fuming at the officiating performance in that game. But the Warriors will drop into 5th, Broncos go up to 4th position, and the Sharks will be in 6th. But if they win tomorrow, the Warriors will drop down into 6th position, and the Sharks will go up to 5th position, equal with the Broncos. And then it will come down to the Sharks versus Bulldogs and Broncos versus Storm next week to see who does get that final top 4 spot. I appreciate you as always, guys. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. We'll be live for both the Knights versus Sharks game tomorrow, and the Sharks versus Knights game tomorrow, and the Dolphins versus Titans. I've got to reply to this. James Stevens says not many teams can play this shit and win, Bronx Nation. That's a bullshit comment to make. I'm sorry. It's a bullshit comment to make when you're very well aware of how you got this win in this game. And it's a bullshit comment to make in regards to trying to put other teams down with the Broncos right now, when you should just be letting this game play out. You get the 2 points, and then you just kind of hide away from it. Because at the end of the day, you still get up 30 points to the Cowboys. Yes, you did play quite poorly. You do get the win, but ultimately, we're seeing a very crucial amount of official calls go against the Cowboys, and the team that is playing for something is getting the beneficial calls to the team who's not playing for something. So it's no surprise there. So I feel like it's unfair for you to insult other teams at the expense of benefiting your own team there when you're very well aware of how this final 20 minutes of this game played out there. But with that being said, the Broncos do get the 2 points, and you take it and run. But I don't think it's a good point of action to insult other teams when we've seen what happened in this game. Sean James says, mate, your call today is sensational, like always, paying for the last half. Yeah, the last half was painful. It really was. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna jump off for now. We'll see you tomorrow for the Sharks versus Knights game and the Titans versus Dolphins game. The weekly dose of depression with my team. But hopefully we can find a way to do something and push us into 16th position. But we will see. But I appreciate you guys as usual, like I said, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.